graduated from Rowan University in the spring of 2022 with a sports communication and media degree. I got to actually call minor league baseball and G League basketball games while I was in school. And then I graduated, and as soon as I graduated, I went to NFL Films in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And as much as I loved that experience, I miss putting on the headsets. I decided, you know what, talk is cheap. I have a laptop that's in my house, and so 21 months later, here we are, still on YouTube, calling games and building an incredible, loving community on here with the people that I call my Philly freaks with a capital P and a capital H. We go live for every single Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles game, and we do it like old school radio play-by-play style. I'm Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ.
I showed a swung on, barreled it out to right field. Bye-bye baseball.
That baby is long gone.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully you're all doing well and having yourselves a very fantastic day. My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. Sixer Nation, we got ourselves another game tonight. And, well, the Philadelphia 76ers, after what was an absolute wild game at the Xfinity Mobile Arena last night, are on a traveling back-to-back as they beat the Golden State Warriors 99-98 last night. And now they have to head to Milwaukee and play at the Pfizer Forum and take on the Bucks without Giannis Antetokounmpo and without Taurean Prince. So just a little, just some extra thoughts just about last night's game really quickly. Tyrese Maxey was an absolute superstar once again. VJ Edgecombe played clutch defense, as clutch as it could be down the stretch. And Dominic Barlow was a men amongst boys last night when it came to rebounding the basketball and providing the Sixers with a lot of grit and a lot of athleticism as well. I don't know how this is going to carry over into tonight's game. I really don't. I have a feeling that the Sixers are going to look tired out there, that they're going to look gassed. And I hate to be that negative guy, but I have seen throughout this season that the Sixers, when it does come to these traveling back-to-backs, and they have the most back-to-backs in all of basketball, which is not really a surprise, but I think that the Sixers are probably going to look a little bit tired out there on the court. And I'm really hoping that that's not the case, because I think that tonight is one of those games where you really want to try to see the Sixers go out there and compete at a very high level and get themselves another W. They're 12-9 right now. As we do take a look at the NBA standings, the Sixers, if the playoffs were to actually start today, they would actually be a play-in team. They would have the 7 seed. They are technically half a game behind the Orlando Magic and half a game in back of the Boston Celtics as well. I think that getting a win tonight would be really huge, and it would put the Sixers in a better position. But, look, Tyrese Maxey has been an absolute superstar this year. This guy has been asked to play so many minutes and to just do so much out there on the court. And I said last night that we really haven't talked a lot about his defense and just the way that he plays the game on the other side of the ball. I think that that's really starting to show, especially over the last 2 games. You're starting to see it more just in the game when he's going for steals out in transition, and he just had probably his best defensive highlight of his career last night with that chase down block. It was absolutely special. But yeah, so the Sixers have got to go out there tonight. They've got to do a good job rebounding the basketball, and they can't turn the ball over against this Milwaukee team. The Bucks, as they are playing tonight against the 76ers. They actually did end up beating the Detroit Pistons. And the Pistons are one of the best teams in basketball. They're the best team in the Eastern Conference. So they beat them 113-109. Kevin Porter Jr. went off, and he had 26 points and was 8 for 18 from the field. I'm really curious to see how the 76ers game plan for him, because this guy's had a really good year. We've been talking a little bit about Ryan Rollins, but Kevin Porter Jr., he didn't play the last time the Sixers faced up against him, but this guy can score at will. This guy has a lot of, he has a really good IQ. He's a very good three-point shooter. Ever since he has come back from his injury, this guy has made at least three threes in every single game. 2 games ago against the Wizards, he was 5 for 6 from downtown. He was also 3 for 8 in the Detroit game on Wednesday. He's very efficient from the field. He can score at will, and he's a really good driver of the basketball. So the Sixers are going to have to do a really good job against him. I'm sure that VJ is going to get a lot of time, or is going to give Kevin Porter a lot of attention, and you're going to see that matchup quite some time when VJ is out there playing defense. But yes, that is something to look for, because Kevin Porter Jr. has been playing at a very high level, and the Sixers cannot take him for granted. Now, with that being said, I do not want to see the Sixers coming out of the gates double-teaming him from the jump. The one thing that Nick Nurse has done throughout this entire season is he likes to double for some reason in the half-court sets. So if I see that the Sixers are going to start off the game doubling him, I think that that's going to be a recipe for disaster, and the Sixers can't necessarily do that if they want to try to limit the Bucks in the scoring department. What else do I want to talk about with this Bucks team besides Kevin Porter Jr., who has been really good? And Ryan Rollins just continues to have himself quite a season, too. He had 22 points in his last game against the Pistons, played 39 minutes. He didn't shoot the ball well from 3 and had more of a cold shooting night, but still was able to get to the cup, still was able to drive it right into the lane, and did a really good job in 39 minutes, being aggressive, being assertive. He had a couple of steals as well in that game, too. Rebounding is going to be a big thing. Transition defense and offense, just the whole transition game. You're going to have to win that tonight. But I'm really hoping that the Sixers can just put up a competitive fight. If they can get a win, that would be big. I'm not expecting a win from this team, but if they can do that, that would be really awesome. And I'd be very happy about that. My most valuable player for tonight's game. And I want you guys to comment your most valuable players down below. I think that at this point, it's pretty much broken record after broken record after broken record when we say that Tyrese Maxey is the MVP for each and every game. And I think that he will be the MVP once again tonight. So now the real question is, how many points do you think that Tyrese Maxey is going to have in tonight's game? And personally, I think he's going to play all 4 quarters, so therefore I'm going to go with 35 points from Tyrese Maxey. The difference is in tonight's game, I do think that he'll do a good job shooting the ball from 3. I know that he had 3 threes in last night's game in the third quarter, made 3 big shots in a row, but overall just didn't really produce at a high level from 3 in last night's game. But I do think that he will have a hot streak from 3 in this one. So let's get into the live stream. We'll talk a little bit about the starting lineups in just a little bit. We are now 28 subscribers away from getting to 8,200 subs. That is really awesome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Jeffrey is here. Jeffrey says looking for a Maxey 40-plus game tonight. 40, I think, is a little bit. I think that that's a little bit of a stretch. I can't even say that it's a stretch. I mean, at this point, because with what Tyrese Maxey is doing, he is just taking on over these games. And it doesn't matter how many minutes he plays every single night. He wears his blood, sweat, and tears out there on the court. So I can't even say that 40 is out of reach, because then that's me disrespecting the number 0. and I can't necessarily do that. BW is here. Guys, please make sure that you go follow Orioles Birdwatcher. I know that we are not in baseball season right now, but he has been doing a great job with his MLB The Show content. He also calls a great Baltimore Orioles game. He calls a great baseball game, period. So make sure that you go check him out, too. He is the man. What is going on, BW? He says, hey, JJ, just stopping by to say hello. We keep missing each other. Have a good call. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you. I really, really do. Shout out to BW in the chat. Woo! All righty. We are almost ready to get started. We're about 3 minutes away until tip-off. Let me make sure that I get this scoreboard ready. I have to update. This is last night's score. Actually, this wasn't last night's score. This was the Raptors score against the Brooklyn Nets. Who cares about that game? Hey, shout out to you. Do we know the starting lineup yet? Yep, I'm going to get that to you in just a couple of minutes. But just to let you know, Paul George is playing tonight for the Philadelphia 76ers, and there is no Joel Embiid for the Milwaukee Bucks, as we mentioned before. There is no Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they are also missing Taurean Prince tonight as well. So that is what's going on as far as the injury reports. Kelly Oubre is still out, and so is Trendon Watford for the 76ers. The Sixers starting lineup tonight. Let's get to it. Tyrese Maxey at the 1. VJ Edgecombe at the 2. And then at the 3, it's Paul George. At the 4, it's Dominic Barlow. And shout out to Dominic Barlow, too, in last night's game, as Andre Drummond is also playing at the 5 spot. Dominic Barlow got hurt. He got banged up a couple of times, especially towards the end of the game. And for him to be able to just play tonight, he's a warrior, man. He's somebody that I'm really happy that the Sixers do have, and he's been playing really well. So Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Paul George, Dominic Barlow, and Andre Drummond are in the starting lineup tonight for the Philadelphia 76ers. As far as the Milwaukee Bucks go, I do not have their starting lineup just yet, but once I do, I will make sure that I let you know who it is for Milwaukee. But yes, tonight's referees, shall we do that right now? We'll do the officials. Yeah, why not? Why the heck not? Today is December 5th, so the referees for tonight's game, you got Kevin Scott as the ref, Brian Forte as the ref, and Jenna Schroeder as the umpire. And so the Sixers are playing at the Pfizer Forum here in Milwaukee. The Bucks, they're 10-13 on the season. They have a 7-6 record at the Pfizer. And so here's the starting lineup tonight for the Milwaukee Bucks. You got Kevin Porter Jr. at the 1, Ryan Rollins at the 2, AJ Green at the 3, Jericho Sims and Miles Turner are down low. They have like a little bit of like a Twin Towers going on down there. Miles Turner is listed as the 4, and Jericho Sims, well, they're going to have him listed as the 5. Alrighty, Sixers are in their white and blue uniforms with the stars, the white stars that is going down each side of the jersey. They have Philatex painted on the front side, and right below that, big numbers. All right, so Turner is going to go up against Andre Drummond for the opening tip-off, and Andre Drummond wins the battle as he tips it over to Tyrese Maxey, who puts up a floater inside, and Tyrese Maxey picks up right where he left off last night. Ends up hitting 2. All right, good stuff. Maxey was able to just hit a 10-foot floater, and that's how the Sixers get on the board. There's a NOLA pass that's intercepted by Tyrese Maxey. Maxey over to VJ Edgecombe. Sixers are moving from right to left, and the Bucks will be going from left to right. Edgecombe will pass it over to Dominic Barlow on the far corner, and then they hand it off over to Maxey again, and Maxey gets tripped up, and so we have a whistle called. Tyrese Maxey had a couple of steals in last night's game, also had a block. It just continues to play very good on the defensive side of the ball. Final score predictions on this game. Please let me know down below. What are your final score predictions? I'm going to go 128 to 110 Milwaukee. Maxey with a catch and shoot three. No good. And an outlet pass that goes over to Ryan Rollins as Maxey was going for the steal. Rollins was able to just go down low. Maxey took a gamble. Didn't work that time. And the Bucks tie it up at 2 here in the first quarter. That's the one thing about this Maxey thing when he does go for the ball is sometimes you think to yourself, well, he's taking a gamble there. If he doesn't get the ball, then that leaves the shooter open, and they can just take it to the rack. Yeah, all right, so it's a 2-2 game, and we played about a minute and a half in this one. Kevin Porter Jr. is operating on the offensive side and now gives it back. And there's a step back two by Rollins, and Andre Drummond is able to provide the board for Philadelphia. Rollins just 1 for 2 so far shooting-wise today. He's had a very good field goal percentage this year and has taken a big step forward in his game. Here's Drummond on an alley-oop to Dominic Barlow, and Barlow rocks the rim. Like that little play call there. Andre Drummond providing a nice little play and giving the Sixers the lead back once again. Here's Jericho Sims, the former New York Knick. Sims now 27 years old. Had the rock over at the top of the key and dumps it off over to Ryan Rollins again. Paul George guarding Ryan Rollins, swats it away, and we have a shot clock violation called against the Milwaukee Bucks. It looked like Jericho Sims was trying to go up with a shot and wasn't able to do so. Good defense by Paul George and the Philadelphia 76ers, and that's how they will get the ball back. Sims played at Texas College and was drafted by the Knicks back in 2021 as the second-to-last pick of the draft. Maxey on the baseline, looking to pass it over to Paul George at the logo again. George did not play in last night's game. He did have 21 points, though, in his last game against the Bucks. Edgecombe catches, puts up a three. Got it. Bullseye. 7-2 lead. Maxey with a steal. Maxey with a three. He can't get it, though. Tyrese Maxey just playing really good defense out in transition yet again, coming up with the easy money, just couldn't convert. Maxey does get a rebound, though, off of a missed three by A.J. Green, who has been another sniper as well on this Bucks team. Maxey zips it over to Barlow on the far corner and now gives it back over to George. George swings it to Edgecombe from near wing, the far wing for a trifecta, and that one's a little bit short too. I'd like to see the Sixers try to make their shots. They're getting some good looks, just not able to capitalize. Offensive rebound off of a missed shot. Jericho Sims got the rebound. Turner for another three on the second chance. Got it. He was wide open at the top of the key. You don't want to leave him wide open. Look, he's 6 feet 11 inches tall, now at the age of 29 years old, shooting the ball very efficiently from three at 38%, and that's pretty good for a center. Really, it's at 39 if you round it up. Barlow spinning, turning, trying to roll to the basket, and we have a foul on Miles Turner. There were about 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Adam Arison for the Philadelphia 76ers, who covers the Sixers, says that he says this: think the Sixers should post Paul George against this Bucks lineup that has no wings. George is currently being defended by Kevin Porter Jr. And he's right about that. I'd like to see Paul George sort of post him up a little bit more too. We'll see if he does that. George now goes down the lane, goes over to the baseline, and hits a baseline jumper over Kevin Porter Jr., so he didn't necessarily post him up there, but that'll work too. 9-5 Sixers lead. They're up by 4. They are shooting 4 for 8 from the field so far in this game. All 4 of their misses have been from three-point range. Rollins catches, lights up a three, and knocks it down from the far wing. Sixers just couldn't close out there, and they left him wide open. It was crystal clear. 7:33 to go in quarter number 1. Maxey gets the dribble handoff, and he's trapped over by Ryan Rollins on the far wing. Maxey will then dump it off over to George. One more pass to Andre Drummond for a corner three in the air ball. Actually, I think it got a little piece of the rim there. The Sixers actually got an offensive rebound from Barlow. And now another three goes up, and Paul George can't hit it that time. Sixers 0 for 6 from three-point range. That's been their kryptonite so far in the first quarter. Turner yet another three, and that's going to give the Bucks the lead. And Miles Turner makes the Sixers pay for all their missed threes. He's now 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. And the Sixers are going to call a timeout as VJ Edgecombe gets it past half court. And they will talk things over. Paul George going on over to the bench just to have a seat, and we'll see what Nick Nurse dials up. All right, what else we got? We got 122 to 109 Sixers win. I like the sound of that. I do. PG is magically good to go against a weak team. What a shocker, says OG Pluffy. OG Luffy. What a shocker. I mean, look, it was either, and I'm not trying to excuse the guy, it was either that Paul George was going to play last night and Joel Embiid was going to sit last night, or Paul George was going to play, or Joel Embiid was going to play tonight and Paul George would sit tonight. It was going to be either one of those things. One of them was going to play, the other one was going to sit. And I'm tired of saying this, but I have to continue to voice this because it's just not right. The fact that one of them is playing and not the other in itself is just not a good look. I mean, they got to get chemistry going somehow, some way. And Paul George, I don't understand. Like, the Joel Embiid thing, I kind of get him not playing the back-to-backs. The Paul George thing, though, it doesn't really necessarily make sense to me as to why he's not playing in back-to-back games, and I just don't understand how the Sixers are managing Paul George when it comes to him playing versus when he's not playing. I mean, it's the same thing with Joel, but you can kind of understand more with Joel because he's taller, he's bigger, and he's been having this knee issue has been going on for quite some time. So you can kind of understand that to a fault in regards to him not playing in back-to-back games. Now, how they're stacking his minutes when he is out there, that doesn't necessarily make sense to me. He didn't play in the fourth quarter at all in last night's game, and he looked like he was just mentally checked out. I just got to call it like it is. But in regards to just how they're managing this Paul George stuff, I don't necessarily seem to agree with how they're going about that. 115 to 109, 76ers win, hopefully. Wisconsin is going to have a bad week, and the Bears are going to top it off, sister. What's going on, man? Shout out to you. Sixer Nation in the chat, give me a W down below. Hopefully they do get a W in tonight's game. Drop the W's in the chat. You guys are all winners in my book. Thank you all so much for being on here. Alrighty, so there's about 6 minutes and 52 seconds to go in this opening quarter between Philadelphia and Milwaukee at the Pfizer Forum. Quentin Grimes will step on in for the 76ers, and he'll inbound it over to Tyrese Maxey. George over at the foul line extended. Now is looking to pivot and dump it off over to Quentin Grimes, who throws the ball away. Grimes was heading underneath the basket, and he just threw it in the no man's land. I believe that it was supposed to go over to Dominic Barlow, but it was just over towards his right side. And another careless turnover by him. That's the first one, though, of the game. All right, so Sixers have got to play defense here. Jericho Sims operating on the pick and roll and gets the ball deflected. That was A.J. Green that provided the pass to him, and it was deflected by Andre Drummond and stolen by Grimes. Now Barlow on the baseline tries to go downhill with a dunk, and we have some contact down low. It's going to be on Miles Turner for hitting him, or Jericho Sims for hitting him right in the hand. Tough contact by Barlow, but love the aggressiveness. Love him just trying to be assertive and take it right over to the cup. And he'll head to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Got a lot of games going on in the National Basketball Association tonight. including this one here. Later tonight, we got Dallas taking on OKC. That should be a fun matchup. Watching the Oklahoma City Thunder this year has been certainly quite a treat. They are 21-1 on the season. They just have one loss and are off to just a historic start. Barlow makes the first free throw, and now Gary Harris, the veteran for the Milwaukee Bucks. He's been a journeyman. He is going to go out there and sub on in for Kevin Porter Jr. Dembona will also replace Andre Drummond, and Jared McCain comes in for Paul George. Sixers tied this game up 11-11 on both free throws made by Dominic Barlow.
Excellent.
Here we go. Missed shot there by A.J. Green. Offensive rebound by Miles Turner. And Turner floats it up, and he can't put it on in. It's Dominic Barlow again coming up with the rebound. That's his third rebound of the quarter. He also has 4 points and 1 assist as well. 5:40 left remaining in quarter number 1. Grimes driving it down low. Dumps it off to Bona, who goes down over towards the rack and lays it up, lays it in. Didn't know if he was going to try to posterize Miles Turner or if he was just going to go with a little soft touch towards the cup, and that's what he did. It was a safe move. Ryan Rollins being aggressive, using that right hand down low in the dunker spot and putting it up and in on a layup to tie the game back at 13 apiece. Maxey on a pick and roll, drives it towards the lane, and he gets fouled hard down low, and he will go back to the foul line. Gary Harris is guilty for committing the shooting foul, and Tyrese Maxey will try to give the Sixers the lead. Everything's been said about what this guy has been able to do just at the age of 25 years old. And, well, at the line this year, we haven't really talked about that, as the first free throw was good, and Kyle Kuzma comes on in for Milwaukee. At the line this year, Tyrese shooting 88.5%. He has a 87% foul shooting performance throughout his entire career. This is year number 6 for Tyrese Maxey. 14-13 Philadelphia, 5:09 remaining in the first frame. And the second free throw by Tyrese Maxey, he got it.
Excellent.
All right, so the Sixers back up by 2 points. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if you guys enjoy watching our Sixers casts on here. Jericho Sims down low to A.J. Green for a spot-up 3, and Jared McCain grabs his miss. Maxey wants to step back at the Pfizer Forum sign, gives it over to Jared McCain for a catch-and-shoot 3. Bullseye! What a shot, and a nice pass again from Tyrese Maxey. He just zipped it right over to Jared McCain as he was on the far wing, and McCain was just able to get it into the shooter's sweet spot and just fire it and knock it down. Kuzma looking to post up Jabari Walker, who just stepped on in for Philadelphia. And, well, Jared McCain, as Kuzma passed it, was able to just deflect it out of his offensive player's hands, and the Sixers are able to get the ball back. Maxey rolling down the lane, facilitating the Bona, and Bona throws it down. Tyrese Maxey, not only can he score, but he's a magician as well with the basketball. And we have a timeout taken by Doc Rivers and the Milwaukee Bucks. 20-13 Philadelphia. We'll step aside, and we'll be right back in just 1 minute. The Philadelphia 76ers lead it 20-13 against the Milwaukee Bucks after Nick Nurse called a timeout. Sixers were able to make some adjustments, and they have gotten the lead back. Maxey on another steal again. Goes over towards the rack. Plays it up. Plays it on in. Tyrese Maxey being a one-man wrecking crew. 22-13, 3:50 left to go in the first quarter. He's doing it all again, all by himself. Again, he has to try to guard Ryan Rollins here, and Rollins hands it off over to Kyle Kuzma, and that's just way too easy. Nobody was on him. It's a 22-15 ball game. Nice screen set, too, and Kuzma was just able to float it up and in from that foul line. That's his sweet spot. Maxey is blitzed. He needs help. He's going to find Jabari Walker right at the foul line, who kicks it out to Grimes for a catch-and-shoot three, and Grimes provides a flamethrower and knocks it down from the near wing at the three-point line. A 12-2 scoring outburst by the Sixers over their last 2 minutes, and it's all thanks to the good defense and just the good playmaking out in transition by Philadelphia. Ryans with another floater inside. That's Rollins, excuse me. Did I just say Ryans? Ryan Rollins with a floater. Couldn't get it that time. Rebounded by Philadelphia. Maxey, no look past to McCain for a three. Oh, my goodness. What a game so far. Jared McCain with a nice three. And Maxey again being the wizard that he is, providing another apple. 28-15, and the Sixers increase their lead. 2:33 to go, and the Milwaukee Bucks are able to capitalize on another wide-open three. That's Bobby Portis. You can't leave him wide open. He's obviously won a championship with the Bucks and has been a really big key component to what they've been trying to do over the last 4 or 5 years or so. Portis does get a steal off of a bad pass by McKean, who was trying to find a Dembona. Just a bad read there. Green. Back to Portis, who thought about firing the trigger at the three-point line, and Bona is going to foul him. It was not in the act of shooting. It was a foul on the floor. Oh, boy. What really good play so far from Tyrese Maxey. And good shooting from Jared McCain, too. Love the confidence. It's certainly been coming on back. There's 2 of 7 left to be played in the first quarter. Jared McCain is still out there, but Tyrese Maxey is going to take a seat, and VJ Edgecombe will make another appearance. Portis at the top of the key, dribbling with the right hand, taking it inside the lane, spins, turns, and it's a turnaround J over a Dembona to make it now an 8-point deficit. Bobby Portis has been providing a big spark off this Milwaukee bench. You can see that he still is able to shoot the ball well. McCain draws a double team. Gives it back to Jabari Walker as the defense collapses, and Jabari Walker makes them pay with a wide-open three. 31 points for the Philadelphia 76ers. Portis again with a three, and that's going to go out of bounds. It was a little bit short, and it goes over towards the left sideline. Sixers ball as it rolls on out of bounds. This blowout is stinking. I smell it coming, Stitcher Show. Here's Grimes again, crossing over on the near side. Dumps it off over to a Dembona. Almost threw it away. McCain swings it to Edgecombe. One more on the outside to Walker, who wasn't going to shoot. I thought he was. And Jabari Walker goes down the lane. Thought he was fouled as he shot the ball. Whistles remain silent. Milwaukee rebounds. Kuzma will try to go down low, and he gets a lot of contact. There's a foul called, and he makes it anyways. The foul was on VJ Edgecombe. Kevin Porter Jr. did a good job finding Kyle Kuzma, who couldn't even stop in his tracks and just took it right over to the baseline, drew the contact from VJ. They did not call a foul on the floor. It's now 31-20, or did they? They called it a foul on the floor. It was not in the act of shooting, I beg your pardon. 6 seconds left on the shot clock here. McCain sticks his hand in the cookie jar. Bona gets the steal. Good job by McCain to pick his defender's pockets. Grimes rolling down the lane, trying to lay it up and in. Not on the first time. The second time, that's good. And a little help from a Dembona there, too, to just be able to help box his defender out for Quentin Grimes to be able to make that magic happen. 26 seconds to go in the first quarter, and about 9 seconds differentiating the shot clock from the game clock. Sixers offense has looked like they've been in control so far today. Kuzma on a catch-and-shoot three, and the basketball gods say no. It looked like it was going to go in, but it rolled out. Grimes now has it. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. He's over on the perimeter, but just turned the ball over as Kuzma is able to provide the turnover there, and he goes up with a half-court shot, and it won't go. He airballed it. And that is going to wrap up the first quarter. It's a 33-20 start for the Philadelphia 76ers. They're doing it all. They've been playing very well so far in this game. Can they keep it up? We'll see as they go into quarter number 2. Man, wow. What a phenomenal first quarter from Tyrese Maxey in this one. Again, like this guy could probably play tomorrow. I mean, he's playing every game. He's just playing so many minutes, and it just does not look like he's tired at all. He looks like he hasn't played in 4 weeks. That's how fresh he looks. His conditioning is just so good, and it's just such a joy to watch him out there. Bucks without Giannis is like popcorn without butter. That's poetry right there. That's a bar. But the Philadelphia 76ers without, what's a good comparison with the Sixers without Tyrese Maxey? I don't really know if there is one. Sixers are 12-9, have a 5-3 record on the road. Shout out to everybody for being on here. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button as well. Sir says, yeah, it ain't good. Yeah, that's an understatement. Speaking of ain't good, I don't know. I had a thought, and then it just slipped out of my hand or my head. Look at this bench. Jabari Walker with a 3. Adem Bona has 6 points. Quentin Grimes has 3. McCain has 6 points. This bench has 18 points in this game. The bench has 18 points in the first quarter. That's going to be a part of my notes. Bench, 18 points, first quarter. How's everybody's night going? Comment down below how you guys are feeling. I'm happy to see you all here. Look at the Atlanta Hawks. They are outplaying the Denver Nuggets. They lead at 73-53 against Denver as they are ready to head on into halftime. Paul George has 2 points in 6 minutes. That's just it for him. Dominic Barlow made some nice plays. 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist in 7 minutes. And VJ Edgecombe, 3 points for him. Andre Drummond has not hit a bucket yet today. But Maxey, 3 steals, 3 assists, 1 rebound, and 6 points. We've played just 11 seconds here in the second quarter, as there was a whistle called against the Sixers. Bucks had possession because the Sixers won the opening tip. And Bobby Portis was trying to give it up over to Kyle Kuzma, who was running down the lane. Portis was at the top of the key, and he just threw it a mile over his head. So that's now 8 turnovers made by the Milwaukee Bucks. And they've made 8 field goals as well, too. 33-20, McCain operating, the point being the floor general. Gives it back to George. George over to Walker for another spot-up 3. And Jabari Walker cashes it in. McCain gets the hockey assist. Portis again, another wide-open 3. Can somebody put a body on him? You can't leave this guy wide open. He is keeping the Bucks involved in this first half. And that's because the Sixers have left him open. Walker with another 3. Well, I'll tell you what. He answers back with a 3 of his own. 39-23. Good for Jabari Walker. He has the Midas touch. and the hot hand from downtown. Here's a nice little chase down block by Bona over on the other side. Kyle Lowry is out there too. Forgot to mention that. Gives it over to George. George with a beautiful pass to McCain for a wide open three. No. Walker gets the steal as Portis got the rebound, and Jabari Walker gets fouled. He flexes his arms. Jabari Walker off the bench being a big spark plug. Oh, my goodness. How about that fight? I mean, he hits the three, he jumps up and down, and he's absolutely happy out there. And then, as McCain misses a wide-open three on just a sexy pass from Paul George, he's just able to snatch that steal away from Bobby Portis Jr., stays with the play, and just was able to get himself fouled. First foul shot good, and Andre Drummond will step back in for Adem Bona. 40-25, and Walker makes the second free throw to make it now 41-25 Sixers.
Excellent.
All right, 10:28 to go in the second quarter. Kevin Porter Jr., who's been really quiet in this game so far. Obviously, that can change. Dumps it off over to Kuzma. Back outside to Portis with another three again. And Bobby Portis Jr. just continues to knock down treys left and right. He has 11 points, and 3 of his field goals that he has made have been from beyond the arc. He is shooting 75% from 3. George at the foul line gets the ball swatted out of his hands, and a reach-in foul is called on Gary Harris for making slight contact with his right hand. Sixers won the first game against the Bucks in overtime by a final score of 123-114. George inbounds it over to McCain, who's at the Pfizer Forum sign. And he'll cross on over, dump it off with a bounce pass over to Paul George. And George hits a fadeaway elbow jumper and connects the dots. That's his second field goal that he has made tonight. It's a 43-28 game. Portis with another 3, and that time he's human. Kyle Lowry tries to go for the ball, and we have a loose ball foul called against the Bucks. That's on Kevin Porter Jr., who came running on into Kyle Lowry. They were both going for the ball there, but Lowry got hit pretty hard. Sixers on a 10-8 run to start off the second quarter as they have a 43-28 lead. Jared McCain at the logo, looking to give it up to Paul George for a catch-and-shoot 3. And that one is drained on the near wing. Paul George making 2 straight field goals in a row. Porter Jr. with some space off the dribble. He puts up a trifecta and swishes it from the top of the key. 46-31. And the Bucks answer back with a 3 of their own. Lowry, one more to Walker, another 3 again. He's unstoppable. Jabari Walker has made all 4 of his threes. Looking like he's Steph Curry out there. That is how red hot he is. 49-31. What a performance by him. McCain gets the rebound. Here come the Sixers off to the races. McCain's going to slow down the tempo, though, as the rest of the team has to catch up. McCain driving inside, dribbling with the left hand underneath the basket, and now goes towards the outside corner. Crosses over Bobby Portis again. Paul George with a fadeaway step-back shot, and he can't get it. It wasn't a good look that time. And the Bucks are not able to capitalize on the other side. Kyle Kuzma had a wide-open layup and just couldn't lay it down. Walker with his 5th 3, and he can't make it that time. It's airballed, and it goes out of bounds. He was feeling himself, and he really wanted that. Sixers are making everything from downtown except for that shot. Gary Harris and Kyle Kuzma will each take a seat for the Bucks. And we have 2 more substitutions coming on then. Ryan Rollins and Jericho Sims are their replacements. Jabari Walker, 14 points, and he is 4 for 4 from 3 today. Here's Porter Jr. on a drive to the basket, tries to give it up to Rollins, and it's intercepted by Jared McCain. He picked up the loose change. 7:55 to go in quarter number 2. McCain with a lane jumper inside the foul line. Not that time. Defensive board by Milwaukee. Alley-oop pass on the other side, and Sims is able to dunk it. Kevin Porter Jr. providing the lob pass to him, and all he had to do was just fly down towards the rack, catch it, and throw it down. And we have a timeout taken by Nick Nurse and the Philadelphia 76ers with 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. It's a 16-point lead for Philadelphia. Don't go anywhere. Tell you what, if you were to ask me right before the game started that the Philadelphia 76ers, or if you were to tell me that the Philadelphia 76ers would have a 49-33 lead with 7.5 minutes to go in the first half, I would have called you crazy. They look really strong out there tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks. And again, are they without Giannis? Yes. Are they without Taurean Prince? Yes. But the Sixers are coming off of a back-to-back game where they went down to the wire against the Golden State Warriors. They had a 24-point lead, and they collapsed, but then they were able to come back and win that dogfight of a game, and they have a 16-point lead now here in the second quarter. They got to keep it up, though. Maxey is back out there for the 76ers. George swings it outside to Kyle Lowry. Lowry back over to Paul George, who steps back and takes a two-point shot, but he's fouled. There was some contact over on his elbow, and he's going to go to the line to shoot some foul shots. I'm surprised that Justin Edwards has not come on into this game, and the Sixers are playing Kyle Lowry for as long as they have been. I'm just sort of intrigued about that. And I don't mean that in a good or a bad way. Foul shot number 1 by Paul George is up and in. 8 points for Paul. 2 assists. He's made some really nice passes. He's 3 for 5 from the field. And the second free throw from number 8 is good. Excellent. Colton is here. Colton says, let's go 76ers. Shout out to you. The Warriors did not have one free throw attempt in the first half of last night's game. And, well, the Bucks are sort of in the same boat tonight against the Sixers. Portis Jr. again with another 3, and he just knocks them down left and right. Bobby Portis Jr. and Jabari Walker have been hitting their shots respectively for each team. Walker is not out there, though, but Paul George is a step-back baseline J, and he's feeling himself now. He's been taken on over in this second quarter, too. Give him 11 points. Good for him. Here's a good defense on the other side. Dominic Barlow got hit in the face, but he provided good defense. George outside to Lowry. Lowry back to Maxey. Drummond is over on the right side, gives it back to Barlow, and Lowry puts up a three. No. Drummond crashes the board, and he's fouled from behind. And he flexes his arms, and he'll go back to the line. That's on Bobby Portis Jr., who fouled him and hit him right on the hand. Sixers are active on the glass. They are just absolutely annihilating this Milwaukee team in almost every single category. And Paul George now making his shot, so that adds another element to this Sixers game in regards to storylines. Drummond can't hit the first foul shot. Miles Turner is going to enter in for Bobby Portis as he will take a breather. 18,789 points for Paul George. He just passed Bob McAdoo. The second free throw by Drummond, and it gets the friendly roll. Philadelphia is 9 for 10 from the line in this game. Here's Porter Jr. on a pass, a spin-around pass to Miles Turner. Ever since he launched the 2 threes and made them, it's been ice cold. Here's Kyle Lowry with a rebound and a full-court pass over to Barlow. Barlow gives it is in trouble, and he gives it back to Lowry for a wide-open three, and Kyle Lowry is able to knock down the tray. Kyle Lowry from 25 feet, able to force Doc Rivers to burn another timeout as the Sixers lead it by 22 points in this first half with 5:48 to go. Everything is going their way. Moose says, sure, it'll be a close game. Oh, Moose being the realist. But yes, I feel you. I do. Can we just not have a close game for once? Honestly, if we're up by 28 and going on into the fourth quarter, which is really ideally what I want, I need Tyrese Maxey to sit the fourth quarter. There was unfortunately, he had to play in the fourth quarter of last night's game. I just want to see another game like with what happened against Washington, where we're just blowing out a team and Tyrese doesn't have to play in the fourth quarter at all. Oof. You know? So that would be really ideal for me. Yeah, positives to take away. Tyrese Maxey's playmaking ability and his defense just continues to shine. Shooting the ball really well. He had a very good first quarter. The 2 nice passes that he had to Jared McCain for the wide open threes, those were awesome to watch. Paul George has looked really good here in the second quarter. Jabari Walker giving the Sixers a little spark, and Adem Bona too. I really like how this team is looking out there. They look very complete with both their offense and their defense. Now, part of the reason, too, is that the Milwaukee Bucks are coached by Doc Rivers, and Doc Rivers has just not made good adjustments in this game. But the Sixers, again, are capitalizing, and they're providing really, really good play. And I can't say anything bad. They're coming off of a back-to-back, a traveling back-to-back, where, again, they went down to the wire. Whether it should have went down to the wire or not is another conversation. But the game went down to the wire, and yet the Sixers are blowing out the Bucks so far. And I got to say I like it. I like it. 57-35, 76ers. Just do not let this up. My boy PG is looking vintage with the handles and the step-back middies, says JC. Are we watching the same screen? No, I'm kidding. We are. I see the same thing. A.J. Green over at the top of the key, swings it outside, and there's another catch-and-shoot three by Milwaukee, and that one won't go. Grimes got the rebound, but it's intercepted and stolen back by Jericho Sims. He got a hand on it as soon as he got the rebound. Drummond trying to play defense over Turner, and Turner deflects it out of bounds. It'll still be a Milwaukee ball. Actually, Maxey got called for a shooting foul, and Miles Turner's going to go to the line to shoot a couple of free throws. Didn't really see the foul there, to be honest with you. Turner's first foul shot is short. Sixers have provided 24 points in this second quarter, and they've held the Bucks to 16. We are 28 subscribers away from 8,200 subs. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button. Turner does go 1 for 2 from the line. And it's a 57-36 game. Barlow back over to Grimes. Grimes will give it back over to Maxey at the logo. Maxey kicks it out over to Grimes again for a catch-and-shoot three. Jackpots! 60-36, and Grimes puts the Sixers up by 24 points. And with 5:05 to go in the second quarter, the Sixers have built a very comfortable lead. Rollins over at the foul line. Goes up with the foul line. Jay. No. VJ Edgecombe rebound. Outlet pass over to Barlow. Barlow to Grimes again. Grimes looking for help. Gives it to Drummond over in the dunker spot. He's being guarded by Jericho Sims. Wants to try to post him up. Goes to the right hand. Hook shot. Good by Andre Drummond. There's Kyle Lowry flexing over on the sideline. 62-36 Philadelphia with the big lead in this first half. They are shooting 58% from three. The Bucks are shooting 47%. That's still pretty good. The ball gets deflected, and we have a stoppage on the clock. 4:23 to go, and 6 seconds are going to be left on the shot clock. Everything going the 76ers way. Jabari Walker leading the way with 14 points for the 76ers. Tyrese Maxey is 6. Quentin Grimes is 6. And Jared McCain is 6 as well. All right, here we go. Down the lane is Kevin Porter Jr., and he tries to lob it inside over to Sims, and the ball's last touched by Philadelphia out of bounds. 0.9 seconds are left on the shot clock. Again, their defense has really been strong. 4:17 to go. They gotta tip it or something. Here's a little prayer that's up by Green. No. And the rebound goes to Dominic Barlow. Again, another great job by the 76ers on the defensive side of the basketball. Edgecombe at the top of the key. Tries to go up with a shot, and Andre Drummond gets called for an illegal screen. A.J. Green got hit right on the left shoulder. He's massaging it as he sits down on the hardwood. So that's a bad turnover by Andre Drummond. Sixers are out rebounding the Bucks 15-10. And again, they are 9 for 10 from the foul line in this game so far. The Bucks try to go up with a very contested shot. And again, good defense by the Sixers. Again, Andre Drummond is able to crash the glass. Ryan Rollins missed a step back. And it was all because of great defense by Dominic Barlow. But speaking of Barlow, he lost the ball as he got it passed to, and it just went off of his hands. It's intercepted by the Bucks. Turner at the elbow, spinning, rolling into Dominic Barlow, kicks it out over to A.J. Green. There's 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Green over for a corner three. That's rejected by Tyrese Maxey, and it's going to go out of bounds. My, oh my, Tyrese Maxey, what can he do? Good contest by Tyrese, working on his vertical, working on jumping and swatting balls away like they're flies. Another step-back jumper from the foul line is good by Ryan Rollins. Sixers actually Played good defense there, but Ryan Rollins just better on the offensive side. There's 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Maxey gets double-teamed, finds Edgecombe. One more to Barlow for a catch-and-shoot three, and that one's off. Andre Drummond offensive rebound again as he got boxed in, and he still got the rebound. Very impressive. Grimes over on the outside at the Cure Insurance sign, the Cure Auto Insurance sign that is, hands it off over to Drummond for a corner three as the shot clock winds down, and he can't hit it that time. Bucks rebound, 2:43 to go in quarter number 2. Sixers lead it 62-38, and a whistle called on Philadelphia. It'll be on Dominic Barlow. We've seen the 76ers just play a very complete first half of basketball with their great defense as they're able to rotate, and everybody is just doing their job out in transition. And they're also just providing really strong ball movement. Kuzma will inbound the pass for the Milwaukee Bucks, and he dumps it off to Miles Turner on the outside of the perimeter. Rollins on the pick and roll, gives it back to A.J. Green. Green to Rollins for a three, and Ryan Rollins cashes it in from the near wing. Looked like he was going to roll to the basket, but he sort of faked everybody out there. Maxey utilizing his speed, going up with the right hand and finishing right at the cup. And he also got back on defense, too, as the ball was thrown to Kyle Kuzma. And Kuzma, there's a personal foul called on Jared McKeon. He was on him. Maxey got back on the defensive side, and Rollins just threw the ball over to Kyle Kuzma. Kuzma ended up getting pushed by Jared McKeon. And so a personal foul called on him. That's going to put the Milwaukee at the foul limit. Or the Sixers really at the foul limit. Sixers are also in the bonus. Here's Turner again going up with a layup inside. And we have another whistle called. It looks like it was a nice block by Bona. But Dominic Barlow hits him right in the ear. And we will have a shooting foul called on Dominic Barlow. That's his second personal foul. So more free throws coming up for Miles Turner and the Milwaukee Bucks. 2:07 left to go in this first half. Free throw number 1 by Miles Turner. Got it. How's everybody doing in the chat? Comment down below. We appreciate each and every one of you for being on here. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button as well. Sixers playing a very strong game of basketball. 8 points for Miles Turner. Foul shots are good by Miles and make it now 9 points for him tonight. Sixers lineup, it's Maxey, Walker, Bona, Grimes, and McKean out there. Jabari Walker is currently at the 4. Grimes over on the left side of the wing. Dumps it off to McKean, outside corner left side. McKean, the Walker in between the lanes. Goes back over to Bona, who goes up with a shot. Looks like he got fouled there. Whistles remain silent. And rebound is by Ryan Rollins, who runs through traffic. They actually didn't call a foul on the other side. I thought there was contact there, too, as he went up with a layup. And the Sixers are just going to keep going. 1:25 remaining in the first half. Grimes dribbling with the rock, trying to drive it towards the rack, and he scores. And he's fouled, too. Gets hit by Kyle Kuzma on the right wrist. And Grimes stands back up and will walk over to the foul line. Great finish with a lot of contact as Quentin Grimes was just able to take it right over to the cup and provide a little bit of pizzazz with that finish. And he converts on the end one opportunity and puts the Sixers back up by 24 points. Grimes deflects the ball out of Miles Turner's hands, and Turner finishes with the left hand. Still was able to get it off and get past Quentin Grimes after he got the ball. Maxey turns it over as Kyle Kuzma picks up the loose change. Kuzma almost got it blocked from behind by Maxey, but he was able to throw it down within a millisecond. Maxey really wanted that block there. 67-47, Sixers have a 20-point lead, and the Bucks have scored on their last 2 drives. Grimes kicks it out to Walker. Catch, pump fake, 3, again, no. And the ball goes out of bounds. Who touched it last? Jerry McCain says that it was last touched by Kuzma, and the refs are going to disagree. There's exactly 41 seconds remaining in this second quarter. Sixers are going to call for a timeout here. And honestly, just looking at the replay, it looked like it bounced off of his left hand. So the Sixers are going to challenge. I don't agree with them challenging that when they're up by 20 points. But they will. And we'll see if they win it. Looks like from the replay that they showed as we go to a break right now that was off of Jared McCann's left hand. Here's something interesting posted on Sixers Twitter. This is from Michael Cotton. Paul George is so good at the little things, defensively, in quotes. Not the one-on-one defender he once was, but still an elite team defender. Coming into tonight, the Sixers were 11.2 points per 100 possessions better defensively with Paul George on the floor. And he says basically the difference between a top 5 defense and the worst defense in the league. And we see it with the eye test. We've talked about how Paul George has made an impact on the defensive side. We currently, of course, have bashed Paul George for not being able to play and not playing and not having good offensive games. But we've never said that he's not a good defensive player. So you hope this isn't like last night. Hope not. But yeah, Sixers are going to lose that challenge. And Kyle Kuzma is going to inbound the ball. So they lose a timeout there. And I didn't really think that was the best challenge by Nick Nurse. 35 seconds to go. Another wide open three by Miles Turner. No. Second chance, though. That's up, and that's going to hit the front of the rim. That was Ryan Rollins, I believe, who was backpedaling, or Kevin Porter Jr. He thought he had it. Here's Tyrese Maxey over at the logo. Dribbling with the right hand. Double team coming. Gives it over to Jared McCain. McCain over to Walker. Walker gets his defender on a pump fake and goes up with the shot, and he's fouled. There's 13.7 seconds to go. Shot clock will now be unplugged. The one thing that I've noticed is that as soon as the double team is coming for Tyrese Maxey, he's actually doing a good job just getting the ball away and finding his teammates. And Walker, from the pass that he made, Maxey over to McCain, McCain was able to find Jabari right in the lane, and he provided a really good pump fake to just get Miles Turner to buy in. And Miles Turner's a veteran player. You know, it's not like that Miles Turner is new. He's been around for quite some time. First foul shot by Jabari Walker. He swishes it. Dominic Barlow back in for Jared McCain. Foul shot number 2 by Jabari. That's good as well. Excellent. 13 seconds to go. Rollins, all eyes on him. Being guarded by Quentin Grimes. Little pick and roll action to Kyle Kuzma. Goes up with a shot, and he's fouled with 4.1 seconds to go. So Kyle Kuzma being very physical, driving it down the lane and being a freight train for this Milwaukee Bucks team. Try to provide an and one at the line. I really hope that this is not like last night. I hope not. Shout out to Philly Sports on Top for being on here. Shout out to you. Adembona got called for the shooting foul. Jericho Sims will enter in for Gary Harrison. Jared McCain steps back in for Dominic Barlow. Kyle Kuzma with 6 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist in this contest so far. Kuzma's foul shot is off. McCain rebound, 3 seconds to go. He gets past half court, goes up with a prayer. It's up, and he airballs it. And that's going to wrap up the first half. Sixers lead at 69-49 against the Milwaukee Bucks and do an excellent job in the first half out at the Pfizer Forum. We'll talk more about it and we will break down individual performances as well as team performances after we take a little break. Do not go anywhere. Be back in about 2 minutes, and we'll have a breakdown of everything. Don't go anywhere. Welcome on into the Philadelphia 76ers halftime show here on Play by Play with J.J. Before we talk about just an awesome first half that the Philadelphia 76ers provided, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button as well, and turn on the notification bell icons if you have not done so already. Just an excellent first half by this Philadelphia 76ers team. And really, it just starts with Tyrese Maxey setting the tempo again on both the offensive and the defensive side. This guy makes a floater to start off the game, and it just felt like that he was not that he was not going to let down after just an awesome performance in last night's game 2, and just an incredible defensive play, obviously, to end the game. But He looks great, and he's not just taking the ball himself. He's not just driving it and scoring. He's actually getting his teammates. He's been getting his teammates involved. That's not necessarily the correct term, but guys are just making their shots. Jared McCain knocking down threes when he comes on in, being a floor spacer and just capitalizing on these catch-and-shoot threes, making some plays as well. Some really good passing I saw from Paul George, really good passing that I saw from Jared McCain, and just overall great ball movement. But I thought that Tyrese Maxey really set the tempo in that first quarter, and he just said, all right, we're gonna pick up right where we left off last night. We're going to be physical. And the other guy that I thought set the tone in the first quarter, too, that I have to give a lot of praise to, is Dominic Barlow. Didn't necessarily play many minutes in the second quarter, but this guy plays 7 minutes in the first, puts up 4 points, 3 rebounds, and gets you 2 assists. Another offensive rebound for him. This guy just understands where to be at all times when he's not on the ball, And I just love to see the aggressiveness that he has when he is down low on the block. Just a very good power forward. Again, a hidden gem that the Sixers were able to find, and he just continues to shine. And I thought that first quarter was really good from him. Also, off the bench, Adem Bona. Really good stuff. This bench today has been, I think, the biggest storyline of all. They are playing fantastic. This is their best overall bench game that they've had. They have put up 40 of the 69 points that the Sixers have scored today. Jabari Walker comes on into the second quarter. Bobby Portis is hitting shots, and Jabari Walker just had the responses from three. And he was hitting wide open shots. We can talk about the form. We can talk about other things, but he's making these shots, and he's being aggressive. He had that one offensive rebound, too, after he made 2 threes in a row, and I forget if it was McCain who missed the shot or what it was, but he grabbed a nice offensive board, and he got fouled, and he was assertive there, and that's why he's a plus 13 tonight off the Sixers bench. Adem Bona did some good things in that first quarter, too. When he came on in, I don't really think it's really showing up on the stat sheet. Yes, he has 6 points, but I thought that he did a very good job boxing guys out. This Milwaukee Bucks team is clearly a different team without Giannis. The Warriors are different without Steph and Jimmy. Okay? Are the Sixers playing lesser competition? You can make the argument and say yes. However, with all of that being said, you're still missing Joel, you're still missing Kelly, and you're still missing Trendon Watford, and Paul George is still not 100% either. So the fact that you still have $100 million that's not being utilized to its full potential, and yet the Sixers are winning these games and that their record is where they are and Tyrese Maxey is doing as great as he possibly can, just speaks volumes to, like, the sky for this team. It really does. Paul George. Let's talk a little bit about PG. Not the best first quarter offensively. Defensively, just continues to be a very good team defensive player. I talked about that tweet before, how the Sixers have just done a very good job and how they look so much better just statistically with Paul George out there, and the eye test matches those stats. Clearly, when he is getting back there on defense, it just feels like that the Sixers can be a little bit more free up at the guard position, because what he does, guarding the wing, guarding down low on the block, he just has such a great IQ. And that has really helped the Sixers out as well. I'm shocked that Kyle Lowry saw time in this game. This guy comes on in, he gets a steal, and then he hits a three to put the Sixers up by 20. I don't know why he's playing for 6 minutes off the bench. Doesn't really make sense to me, but in tonight's game, it has worked. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's the truth. The one other point that I wanted to bring up to you, just about this Sixers team, there's a couple other ones, but something else that just popped on into my head now is that Dominic Barlow's play has really made much of a difference. In years past, we talk about the 76ers, and we've always said they need a good rebounding power forward who can drive it to the cup and that can also not be hesitant to shoot the three. Dominic Barlow's not the best three-point shooter. We all know that, but he's not afraid. And he is very aggressive as well. And I bring this up because also on the defensive side, you look at this Milwaukee Bucks team. They have Miles Turner and they have Jericho Sims as their 4 and 5. In years past, the Sixers, because of their lack of size, get eaten in the paint. But Dominic Barlow's physicality. He also, again, went down for a second tonight. This guy is getting banged up. He's playing such huge minutes. And he is just laying everything out there. How can you not be impressed with what he has done on a two-way contract? A guy that's just picked up out of nowhere. I don't know. But size to me is what has been interesting about this game. And the Sixers are matching up very well against the Bucks size. I don't know when I've said that the last time, but they have been doing a very good job. Now, can they keep this up is the question. I need, in this second half, I need the 76ers to just continue to play well out in transition. The other elements that we just continue to brush up on with the Sixers and their transition defense is Tyrese Maxey has been such a force using his speed. There was one play where he did try to go for the ball, and he ended up not catching it, took the gamble, and it backfired. But every other time that he has tried to go after steals and act like he's a safety, that changes game plans. That wrecks games for opponents. And that gives the Sixers extra momentum. When I was on the phone with my friend last night, I said that there's a lot of players that are able to slow the game down. And I said that maybe Tyrese Maxey's strength is to speed it up. And come playoff time, if the Sixers get in, I think that that's going to be a big key to his success. I don't want him to always slow the game down. I really want him to speed up the tempo because he's so fast. Now, if he draws fouls and he gets a lot of contact on him, great. But this guy's drawing double teams. This guy's scoring at will, and he's running past everybody. You put him up against, like, Speedy Gonzalez. He's going to run right past him. But you know what I'm saying. You understand my point. This Sixers bench today has been really good. They're just going to have to keep this up. I really want to see them continue to do a good job getting rebounds off the glass. I thought that last night, part of the reason why the 76ers collapsed were because they weren't taking care of the basketball when it came to rebounding. They gave the Warriors a lot of second chance opportunities in that fourth quarter and even towards the end of the third. You saw a couple of offensive rebounds from Guy Santos, and they're able to cash in on second chance opportunities, and that just can't happen. And that's also why Quentin Post got really hot. There was one possession that the Warriors had in last night's game, and I'm going to stop talking about last night's game after this. But Quentin Post, after, 2 offensive rebounds, Post missed the first 3, and then DeAnthony Melton, I think it was, missed the second 3 as it was rebounded by, I forget who it was, but the Sixers, nonetheless, were getting eaten on the glass, and that was a big deterrent in last night's game as to why the Warriors got back in it. So do a good job on the glass in the second half and just don't get careless with the basketball. And please, for the love of God, if I have to see VJ Edgecombe as the primary ball handler in the fourth quarter, there's going to be problems. For some reason, Nick Nurse sees VJ Edgecombe as a playmaker in the fourth quarter, as a facilitator. And at the age of 20, it's just not fair to put him in that position. Jared McCain or Tyrese Maxey have got to be out there at all times. One of those two. If Grimes and Edgecombe are in the lineup, McCain or Maxey, either of them have to be out there. Preferably, I want McCain out there. to start off the fourth quarter. But that's not fair. And I better not see that tonight because that was another big reason why they collapsed. 69-49, here we go to the second half. Let me know what you guys think, though, down below. All righty. What's up, Lou? What is up? Philly Sports on top says, I can't find my ID. Sixers get a steal. Paul George with a little handoff to Barlow, and Barlow gets the ball blocked, but a foul is called on Kuzma. Sixers again picking up right where they left off on the defensive side. It was a bad pass by Ryan Rollins. Andre Drummond got the steal and led the Sixers on another fast break. The Bucks have really turned the ball over a lot of times today. And give a lot of credit to the 76ers defense. They turned it over 11 times in just the first half. That's their 12th turnover of the game. And Maxey also, again, I know he didn't get the steal there, but he forced that. Barlow, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists as he cashes in on both free throws.
Excellent.
71-49. We've played just 30 seconds in this second half so far. Here's Kuzma, who dumps it off over to Rollins, gives it back over to Sims, and another turnover by the Milwaukee. Nope, Maxey is animated. He thought that it was going to be Sixers ball. I did too, but they're saying that Maxey touched it last with his left hand. Oh, it's on the replay. He did touch it. Should have known not to do that. Okay, now I see it. But the Bucks get called for another turnover anyways after the ball was inbounded. Miles Turner got the ball, and there was a travel called against the Bucks. Doc Rivers in his third season with the Bucks, 75-66. 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. Maxey double-teamed and blitzed. Gives it back over to Dominic Barlow. Drives it downhill. Throws it. Supposed to go to Maxey, but right in front of him was Rollins. That was an easy pick. Kuzma for a catch-and-shoot three. Cash for Kyle Kuzma from 21 feet. And the lead is back to 20. And a good turnover there. Edgecombe operating at the logo, dribbling with the left hand, going towards the left side, spinning over in between the hash marks, and going up with a contested layup, and not able to fall. It's rebounded by Miles Turner. Turner back to Kuzma again on the other side, and Kyle Kuzma gets called for a travel. He picked up his pivot foot and took an extra couple of steps. Walked the earth. Can't do that there. Also pushed Paul George as well. So it's an offensive foul and a travel. A double whammy. George gives it back over to Barlow, and Maxey again being double-teamed. Throws it to Barlow. Again, that was nearly picked off too. Barlow to George. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Paul George with a step-back three contested, and not a good shot at all. Rebounded by Kevin Porter Jr., who will reset over at the logo again. Driving it towards the left side, and contact down low on VJ Edgecombe for fouling him on the wrist. And more free throws coming up for the Milwaukee Bucks. And that's Kevin Porter Jr. The Sixers did a very good job at holding this guy to just 5 points in the first half. Now, he did assist the ball 6 times, and he did have 2 rebounds, but they made him more so into a playmaker. And this guy who just came back from a severe injury has been doing a very good job. He has provided 56 points coming on into tonight in his last 2 games. He had 30 against Washington and 26 against the Detroit Pistons. So the first free throw is good, and the second one, that is good too, from the 25-year-old out of USC. Doug is here. It is 71-53 Philadelphia. Neil is also here as well. Shout out to you guys. Sixers putting on a clinic so far. They just got to keep their foot on the gas pedal. George driving down towards the baseline. Euro step, kick out to Barlow for a 3. And Barlow's three-pointers, no good. Close but no cigar. Rebound by Kevin Porter again, who boxed out Andre Drummond. And Miles Turner was there to help the assist on the box out, too. We have a foul called again on the 76ers. Kyle Kuzma got pushed to the ground. The one thing that we really haven't talked about, too, as to why the Sixers have had their collapses in the third quarter is because they get very foul savvy, if that's the right word. They do tend to foul a lot. And speaking of fouls, Andre Drummond will foul Miles Turner in the act of shooting. He got the inbound pass, and he drove it downhill with his right hand, and Andre made contact with that. And Turner is going to go to the line, and we will have some free throws. Maxey's been cooking lately. These young guys have me with a little hope for the future, says Lou. First foul shot, no good. Maxey has been cooking lately. That's an understatement. Maxey's playing like an MVP. Again, we're not saying that he is the MVP, but he's playing like an MVP. Foul shot number 2 by Miles Turner, and he goes 1 for 2 that trip around. We'll see how Nick Nurse manages his timeouts. By the way, did not like that challenge that he had with 41 seconds left in that first half. Edgecombe dribbling with the ball, dumps it off over to Paul George, who gets picked up by Kyle Kuzma. Screen comes from Drummond, and now he has Miles Turner on and Paul George. Paul George steps back, goes up with a foul line. No. Drummond, volleyball, tips the rebound, and it goes into the hands of Jericho Sims, who saves it from going on out of bounds. Kuzma out in transition, being guarded by Edgecombe. Passes it away to Jericho Sims, and now to Kevin Porter Jr., who goes into the lane. And Andre Drummond grabs his rebound. He just could not hit it, Kevin Porter Jr. Edgecombe with a tough finish over at the rim, able to lay it up and in as he had 2 defenders on him. And it was not a good shot, but just really, he was able to cash it on in, and that's what matters. 73-54. And on the other side, Andre Drummond gets the rebound. The ball actually ended up going on out of bounds. Last touch by the 76ers. He could not hang on to that ball. All righty, 73 points for the 76ers and 54 for the Bucks. Here's Kyle Kuzma again, who goes up with a shot. He got the inbound pass, and he's been taken on over this third quarter. Kyle Kuzma with 8 points, now making 10 because he made that layup. Didn't necessarily count that. 8:08 to go in quarter number 3. The lineup for the Sixers, it's George, Barlow, Drummond, Maxey, and Edgecombe for Philadelphia. Maxey on the drive to the basket. Tries to lay it up and in. No. Barlow on the follow-through. Can't get it that time. Kuzma rebound. He goes out in transition. Tries to get Andre Drummond to foul him, and he does. Another shooting foul. And the Sixers have got to be careful. That's going to be their 4th foul that they've committed already in this third quarter. Kyle Kuzma is doing it all. He's just driving downhill. He's crashing the glass. He's being very aggressive as well. We are 28 subscribers away from getting to the 8,200 marker. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Doug? What's up, Lou? I know I said hi to you guys, but I want to make sure I say hi to y'all again. Hit that thumbs up button. Shout out to my MVPs, which are all of you guys. And Tyrese Maxey. Kuzma's first free throw won't go. The second free throw by Kyle Kuzma, that won't go either. Paul George grabs the rebound. Kyle Kuzma goes 0 for 2 from the line. That trip around. And the Sixers dodge a bullet. George finds Andre Drummond, and Drummond lost the ball, picks it up, though, over on the baseline towards that far corner. Now he's dribbling with the ball. Nobody's moving. And he gives it back over to Paul George, who has to go up with a prayer, and a shot clock violation is going to be called. I don't know why nobody was moving. As soon as Andre Drummond got the ball in that corner, the ball ended up getting poked loose, and Drummond was sort of trapped over at that three-point line in the far corner, and everybody else is just standing around looking, and it looks like it's an ESPN highlight to them. I mean, nobody else is moving, so I can't understand why they did that. Porter Jr. wide open three. He turns around. He then made the shot, and the ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be Bucks ball. Last touch by Paul George. Andre Drummond is going to take a seat for the 76ers, and so will VJ Edgecombe. Quentin Grimes will enter on in for the 76ers. Sixers actually are going to get the ball back. They end up getting a steal. George zips it over to Maxey, rolls down the lane, alley-oop pass, and Bona can't finish it. Oh, man. Here's Paul George, though, getting an interception off of a bad pass out in transition. Grimes to Bona, nearly threw it away. Bona goes up with a layup inside. No foul called, and they got to get back on defense. Good physicality. Jericho Sims got the block. Kuzma wide open three. That's off the mark, too. Bona crashes the glass. Maxey, outlet pass to Grimes. Over on the left wing. Grimes to George for a catch and shoot three on the far wing. Yes! Oh, yes, baby! A 20-point lead for Philadelphia, and that is just what the doctor ordered. And speaking of Doc Rivers will call a timeout for the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Paul George playing really good defense out in transition, getting a big steal, and then providing a three on the other side. Wow. He has 14 points in this game. It's good. It's good. Let's go, chat. Dubsis, could you imagine how good this team would be if we had some type of defense? I'll tell you this. The defense, the individual defense, has been a lot better over these last two games. I believe that last night's collapse, did they play bad defense? Yes. But I think that the reason why they played bad defense was because their offense got so stale and they were getting beaten out in transition and they just were not able to box out for some reason. Well, the reason why was because they were too small with VJ and with Quentin Grimes out there, and because there was just no flow on offense in that fourth quarter. You know, they say that good defense or it's good defense leads to easy offense, but I also think that easy defense leads to good offense too. So, but overall tonight, it's been a phenomenal defensive effort from this Sixers team. Paul George playing great defense, Dominic Barlow playing physical defense, and Tyrese Maxey, A+ from him. All right, it's a 76-56 ball game with about 6.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Sixers up by 20. Leading the way for Philadelphia, you got Jabari Walker, who got really hot in that second quarter, shooting from three. He is 4 for 6 from three-point range today. He went 4 for 5 in that second quarter from downtown. Just impressive stuff. Quentin Grimes also made 2 threes, and so did Jared McCain. The 2 threes that McCain made, though, were in the first quarter off a beautiful assist by Tyrese Maxey. And Maxey 8, 4, and 1 so far in this game, but 3 steals and 1 block as well. Plus 14 he is out there. Sixers have got to play defense. Porter Jr. back out there for the Milwaukee Bucks. Gets the ball from Miles Turner. Turner gets Bona to bind on a pump fake over in the dunker spot. And then Bona guilty for the shooting foul, and Milwaukee's now in the bonus. 28 more subs until we get to 82 hundo. Be sure to like and be sure to subscribe and spread that word. If you guys know of people that can't get access to these Sixers games and they want access to a very good play-by-play call, you guys know what's up. You guys know what to do. Tell them about the channel. The 2 foul shots are up and in by Milwaukee. Miles Turner able to cash in both free throws. Maxey operating on the offensive side, dumps it off to Bona, and Bona hands it back off to Maxey. Maxey to George, another 3. Too strong that time. Bona offensive rebound. I don't know how he got it, but give him credit for that over Miles Turner. George with a beautiful dime over to Grimes for a 3. And Quentin Grimes hits his 3rd tray of the game. Paul George being a magician and an absolute incredible facilitator in this game as well. Here's Barlow fouling Miles Turner again. They just keep spamming the pick and roll, the Bucks, that is, and they keep giving the ball to Miles Turner, who rolls over towards the rack, and he just continues to get fouled and slow the game down. And, well, that change of pace has kept Milwaukee involved in this game. Foul shot number 1 by Miles Turner. No can do. The next time that the Sixers play against the Bucks will be on January 27th. And then they play them on the very last day of the regular season, which is on April 12th. Both of those games are going to be at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Turner goes 1 for 2 from the line and cuts the deficit back to 20 for the Bucks. It's Miles Turner, Jericho Sims, Ryan Rollins, Gary Trent Jr., and Kyle Kuzma. Gary Trent Jr. is making his first appearance of this game. He was not in the starting lineup for the Milwaukee Bucks. Grimes dumps it off to Maxey. Maxey rolling down the lane. Step back, Jay. Connects. And give Tyrese Maxey his 10th point of the game. So he is now the 6th player that has scored in double figures for the 76ers. 5:13 left to go, and another shot is up, and that one is good. And scratch that, he is just the 4th player to score in double figures, but still, that's pretty awesome. 81-62, Bona lost the ball. He fumbled it, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Adem Bona. Jericho Sims got a hand on it and bounced it off of his left knee, and it goes out towards the near side. The Bucks, by the way, without Giannis Antetokounmpo, they are 1-5. Their net rating without Giannis is at -5.8. They're shooting the ball 4.5 percentage points lower with Giannis out. There's a moving screen called by Jericho Sims as Paul George goes flying down low and hits the deck. And another offensive foul called on the Bucks. That is another turnover on them. They had 11 in the first half, and that's their 4th that they've had in just this quarter alone. What else do we got going on in chat? Predicting 10K subs before next year's baseball season. Let's go! That'd be great. McCain back out there for the Sixers. Dumps it off to Quentin Grimes. Grimes over to McCain again at the top of the key. Dribbling with the left hand. Goes, parts the defense, and is able to hit the layup on the left side. Good finish by Jared McCain. He's back out there for the 76ers. Porter Jr. hands it off to Gary Trent Jr. at the top of the key. Porter Jr. gets it back, rolls down the lane, finger roll finish, got it with the soft touch. He got tangled up with a Dem Bona too. There was a little bit of contact down low. The refs have honestly let both teams play very physical in this game. Grimes dumps it off to Jabari Walker on the elbow. He rolls down the lane, kicks it out over at the second hash mark. McCain goes behind his back, dumps it off to Jabari Walker again. Oh, what a pass by Jared McCain. He went right through his defender's legs and got it right into the breadbasket of Jabari Walker for that easy layup. Great passing by the Sixers. They can't the Bucks, that is, can't hit the shots. Quentin Grimes goes down hard on the other side. He got the rebound, and then he drove it down the lane and got hit right on the left knee. He's sitting up, and there's a foul called on the 76ers. He does get up, Quentin Grimes. It looked painful for a second, but he gets on up, and he's going to walk it off. Looks like his knee sort of just, I don't want to say locked for a second, but He made contact with Kevin Porter Jr.'s kneecap, and they sort of banged kneecaps against each other, so you can imagine how painful that is. Also, Ryan Rollins got a little bit nicked up there, too, as Grimes, when he went down, his head sort of hit his knee. Porter Jr. is at the line and makes it back to a 20-point deficit. Both teams still have 4 timeouts left. Why isn't Giannis doing anything, sister? It's because he's not playing. That's why he's not doing anything. He's out with that calf strain, and they say that he's going to miss a couple more weeks. So the Bucks cut the deficit back to 19. It's been pretty much even scoring for both teams in this quarter. Maxey dribbling with the right hand, swings it over to McCain over on the outside. McCain zips it over to Grimes. Grimes crosses over, puts up a 3 again. He is on fire! Quentin Grimes with his 4th bomb of this game. And that puts the Sixers back up by 22, a big cushion for them. Sixers just continue to shoot the lights out in this game. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. McCain playing phenomenal defense on Gary Trent Jr. And Gary Trent Jr. spins, turns, goes up with 1 second left, and somehow, some way got it to go. Just a nice spin-around, turnaround shot by him. Grimes, another 3. He chucks it up, and it won't go down. Not that time. 2:33 remaining in the 3rd frame. Porter Jr. initiates the contact from Jared McCain, and he's going to go to the line for an and-one opportunity. Sixers are shooting 47% from 3. They have made 14 out of 33s. We do have a timeout taken by Philadelphia, and we will step aside for just a couple of seconds. Don't go anywhere. That song is fire. That's a good song, man. For those of you that are just tuning on into my channel, welcome on into Play by Play with JJ. What do we do on Play by Play with JJ? We go live for every Sixers, Eagles, and Phillies game. And we do like an old school radio play-by-play style of a call. 88-70 is the score between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Milwaukee Bucks. The biggest lead that the Sixers had in this game was 26. And so now it's down to 18 with 2:28 to go in the 3rd frame. The story of the 3rd quarter has really just been the Sixers have been playing back and forth. They've been sort of exchanging buckets between them and the Bucks. They're fouling a lot more, which is not good. Bucks seem to be giving the ball more to Miles Turner on these pick and rolls, and the Sixers are getting into some foul trouble. They were actually, the Bucks, that is, were in the bonus with about 7 minutes to go in this fourth quarter, and Kevin Porter Jr. is now at the line to shoot 2 more free throws. The Bucks have also missed a couple of foul shots. And sorry, that was an and one opportunity. Forgot about that. So it's just 1 free throw, and he did make it. The Bucks should honestly, because of their poor foul shooting, should be a little bit of a closer game. Grimes with another 3 for the Sixers. He can't be stopped. Another storyline in this third quarter is that this guy just continues to light it up from downtown. That's been a big positive. Edgecombe comes up with a steal, but lost the ball, and he dives on forward for it, and it goes out of bounds over towards the scorer's table. Nearly had a steal with 2 minutes exactly to go. It ricocheted off of his right foot, and he just could not hang on to the ball. Grimes with a 24-foot step-back 3. That is his fifth 3 of this game. Him and Jabari Walker are 9 for 12 from 3. That'll work. Another foul called against the 76ers, and Kevin Porter Jr. is going to march on over to the foul line. The foul was on Jabari. Grimes is second in the NBA with points off the bench this season. He's just behind Jeremy Grant, who's averaging 17.7 points per game. He has 17.6. Sixers have Edgecombe, Walker, Bona, Grimes, and McKean out there. So the question is, this is my question. Is Tyrese Maxey going to start the fourth quarter? And will they still have Grimes out there too? I don't know. 91-73 as both free throws are good by Kevin Porter Jr. He now has 16 points. He was held to just 5 in the first half. He has 11 here in the second half so far. Grimes, ISO, wants to go over to the foul line, gives it back over to Edgecombe, and Edgecombe drives it towards the basket. He puts the Red Sea and dunks it on down. He just threw it down Broadway. He was like, get out of my way. I'm going to dunk it on you. 93-73, Sixers up, but they get caught sleeping at the wheel on the other side as Porter Jr. again is just able to lay it up and in with that right hand. They are not able to put a body on him. Bobby Portis Jr. went off for the Bucks in the first half, and the Sixers just couldn't solve him. Now they got to worry about Kevin Porter Jr. Walker drives it down low, lost his footing, has to pass it over to Edgecombe, and Edgecombe has to force up a half-court shot because he was over at the top of the key, and that's a shot clock violation. Brandon is here. What is up? What's up, JJ? That was a nice one of the first fairies. What is up, Brandon? How are you? That was VJ's first bucket of the game. Sorry, that was his first field goal of the second half, I should say. He does have 7 points. McCain on the steal. McCain going coast to coast, and he's going to go to the line. 93-75. Jared McCain got the steal. And we'll see again. McCain looked like he tried to lay it up and in. And they're going to say that there was a foul on the floor, so they're going to wave off the shots. And McCain will be forced to inbound it from the near sideline. So they waved that off. Edgecombe got the handoff from Walker. Edgecombe in traffic. Gives it back to Walker for another catch-and-shoot 3 again. No friendly bounce that time, but a good tip by Adembona. Back to Grimes for an offensive rebound. Walker on his second try from the near corner this time, and that one won't go. Now he's come back down to earth shooting from 3. Made 4 out of his first 5. Ever since then, he's gone a little bit cold. Again, Kuzma trying to finish with a layup inside. He got it, and Jared McKean now gets the rebound. 4 seconds left to go. McCain at the buzzer goes up with a shot from the top of the key, and that'll do it. He did not make it. It's a 16-point lead as we go into the fourth quarter. Will the Sixers be able to just beat this Milwaukee Bucks team and not put up any stress in this fourth quarter? We shall see. Just provide a clean fourth quarter is all that we ask. But we'll see if the Sixers have other plans or if they're going to take care of business. One more step off from me, and that'll be it. All right? Be back in 2 minutes. All right, it is time to start the fourth quarter out in Milwaukee. Let's go. Sixers did lose the third quarter, 28-24. We'll see what the starting lineup is. So the Sixers, this is their starting lineup. Let me know what you think about this. To start off the fourth quarter, I'm going to take a picture of this right now. Paul George, Dominic Barlow, Adem Bona, Kyle Lowry, and Quentin Grimes. How did I know that Kyle Lowry was going to start off the fourth quarter? Lowry dribbling the rock, has it with the right hand, swings it over to Barlow down the lane. Barlow turns around, tries to go up with a shot, and he can't get it. It's a little bit short. And Kuzma catches yet another rebound. That's his third of the game. A floater is up. That's no good. Offensive board by Milwaukee, and Kyle Lowry fouls Ryan Rollins. Rollins got nicked up there, and he is laying down on his back, but is now being helped up. Lowry offered him a hand, but his teammates were right there, and they're going to bring him up anyways. Sixers have had a very good balance of shooting today from their role players and from guys off the bench. 11:29 to go in the fourth quarter. And it's nice because Tyrese Maxey has sort of taken a load off. So that's good news. George, or Grimes that is, playing defense on Hollins, and they give it back to Bobby Portis for a three. And Paul George catches the rebound. George isos over on the elbow, steps back, lost his dribble, but picks it back up as he got over to the ball. Dumps it off to Barlow again. Barlow to George. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Barlow in the lane. One more to Bona, and it was thrown away. And the last touch by the 76ers. It'll be Milwaukee ball. Not a good pass by Barlow. They tried to give it to Adem Bona, and he was not able to catch it. 93-77, and the Sixers offense has not done anything on their first two possessions. Again, it's Paul George, Dominic Barlow, Adem Bona, Kyle Lowry, and Quentin Grimes out there for the Philadelphia 76ers. Here's Gary Trent Jr. for a three. That one's up, and it's good, and one. Oh, no. The Bucks are down by 13, and we all know that Gary Trent Jr. is one of the best three-point shooters as a guard. And Paul George fouled him, made contact with his right shooting hand, and just couldn't close out properly. Kevin Porter Jr. is going to come on in, and so will Tyrese Maxey for Quentin Grimes. Ryan Rollins will take a seat. Gary Trent Jr. can cut it to a 12-point game if he makes this free throw. The Bucks have Porter Jr., Portis, Kuzma, Harris, and Trent Jr. That's Gary Harris. The foul shot is good. 93-81. McKeon also out there for the 76ers. And he's going to get it at the half-court marker. Gives it over to Paul George. And George to Bona. Easy two for Adem Bona as he throws it down. And gets the two-handed slam. So that lineup with Quentin Grimes and Kyle Lowry didn't really last long. It was just for a minute and a half. And the offense couldn't get anything to go. 95-81. Sixers up by 14. 10 minutes to go in this fourth frame. It's a shot that's up and contested very well by Adem Bona. Lowry is actually still out there for the Sixers. They're going really small. Lowry catch and shoot three for Philadelphia, and that's a little bit wide left. So they took, who did they take out of the game? They took Walker out? Is that who it was? There's another catch and shoot three by Gary Trent Jr., and that's off the mark. Sixers rebound yet again. It's Adem Bona on the glass. He has 5 rebounds, and he's been a menace on the glass to start off the fourth quarter. George to pass it over to Bona again. Bona to Lowry. One more to McCann. His three. And he couldn't knock it down and went in and out. He was wide open on the far corner. Just did not get the roll. Bona with his 5th rebound of the fourth quarter. Another missed shot. It was a floater by Kyle Kuzma. Maxey steps back again, fires, puts up a three, and it's short. 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Tyrese Maxey had the look, just could not cash it on in. Portis again over Bona. That time it works. Bobby Portis Jr. leading the way with 13 points. Leading the way off the bench, I should say. We have another whistle call that's going to be a timeout this time by the 76ers. Their lead is down to 12. They were up by 26 points. And there's still plenty of time to go. So you better fasten those seatbelts because it's going to be a bumpy, bumpy ride. Do not let up. Sixers have 2 timeouts left. I didn't like the challenge that Nick Nurse had with 40 seconds to go in the first half. That was a wasted timeout that they used. Didn't think that that was right. And the other thing, too, is that Kyle Lowry shouldn't even be out there in the fourth quarter, period. Not even just to start off the fourth quarter with Tyrese Maxey on the bench and Jared McCain, but just to be out there in the fourth quarter, period, is wrong. Bona, Maxey, Barlow, George, and Lowry George, Maxey, Bona, Lowry, and McCain are the 5 out there, and I just think that that's way too small of a lineup. VJ at least gives you more height. Like, that is such a small lineup. What are we doing? What are we doing? So, why does this game feel close? Because we've seen it before. We've seen this stuff happen before, and it just feels like that the momentum has gone to Milwaukee's way. Sixers are up by 26. Now it's a 12-point game. Not saying that they can't win this game, because, of course, they obviously can. They just got to play better defense, and Nick Nurse just, for some reason, just doesn't go to good lineups. It's just plain and simple. What do you think of the Mets trying to acquire Schwarber and Suarez? That would suck if they do. if they get Ranger Suarez and Kyle Schwarber, ew. Oh, that'd be disgusting. It would make me dislike them even more. Ew. Ugh. And we'd have to hear it all from them. Even if we get Pete Alonso, I mean, it's just, I don't know. 95-83. And the Bucks, by the way, still have 4 timeouts left. Sixers only have 2. So they have the upper hand in that department. Quentin Grimes did have a good third quarter. He was 3 for 4 from downtown with 9 points and 4 assists. 8:43 to go in the fourth quarter. George gets it over on the baseline and tries to go towards the dunker spot. Gives it back outside to Jared McCain for a 3, and that's short again. McCain has been ice cold in this second half from downtown. McCain gets Porter Jr. to roll past him, and we have a late foul called on Adem Bona. And Kevin Porter Jr. can make it a 10-point ball game here in this fourth quarter if he makes both free throws. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel as always. If you guys like this old school radio play-by-play style, tell your friends, tell your family members. Make sure you tell them about what we do for the Sixers, the Phillies, and the Eagles. Kevin Porter Jr. is at the foul line. 18 points. He had 5 in the first half. And make it 19 total points, 14 in this second half so far. An 8-2 run by the Milwaukee Bucks here in the fourth quarter. Porter Jr. at the line. Foul shot number 2, and it's a 10-point ball game. So it's down to a 4-possession lead. George gets double-teamed, has Bona wide open, and Bona can't lay it up and in, and we have a whistle called against the Milwaukee Bucks. It was a shooting foul. Bona ended up getting fouled by Gary Harris. There was some slight contact. Let's see again. He tried to swipe for the ball, and Adem Bona still, I thought, should have been able to make it. Even though there was a little bit of contact, just couldn't get the finish to go. Bona missed 2 free throws in crunch time of last night's game, but he knocks down a big one here to put them up by 11. Scott says, I'm so ready for the Philadelphia Phillies season to start once again. I was ready when the season ended. Hey, man, I love baseball. Don't get me wrong. I needed a little break. But I hear you. I hear you. Foul shot number 2 by Bona. He got them both to go. Okay, Adem.
Excellent.
Not really known to be a good foul shooter, but he comes up with both free throws that time. We'll take it. Porter Jr. with an elbow J on the other side. No. Kyle Kuzma tip back on the rebound. Back to Portis outside for a 3, and that one goes in and out. Paul George grabs another rebound. That's his 4th rebound of the quarter. Paul George is playing in the fourth quarter, folks. 7:45 to go in the fourth. Bona looking to kick it out to George. One more to McCain. His 3. No. Oh, darn it. Just missing wide open looks from 3. And Jared McCain keeping his head down, getting back on defense. That's what you got to do. Sixers are 0 for 5 from 3 in this quarter so far. And the Bucks can't make a layup again. Paul George grabs yet another rebound. Maxey at the logo, driving it with the left hand. Puts up an underhanded shot. No. On the tip back, he can't get it either. 97-85. 7 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Maxey gets a steal on the other side. Maxey's going to solo it. He puts it up, and goaltending is called. And that makes it now 99-85. So a good play. Kyle Kuzma went up with a shot on the other side, and he had tripped up there. 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go. I thought that they should have called goaltending, but are they going to say that it was a clean block? I guess so. They didn't stop it, Maxey was driving towards the lane, and they did not call goaltending there. On ESPN, they listed it as a dunk, but Kyle Kuzma may have just timed that ball well. Ryan Rollins will enter on into the game. So it's a 97-85 score still. So they didn't count the Maxey buckets. George gets the inbound pass for the 76ers. And now takes it towards the Toyota sign. Drives it down low. Kicks it outside to Grimes over on the far corner. And Quentin is going to drive it over to the baseline. Kicks it out again to Edgecombe for a near wing three. No. And Bona tracks down another rebound. Sixers are getting the rebounds. That's been helping. But they got to score the ball. George on the outside. Steps back. Puts up a two. And that one is good. Paul George able to make the two. It's now 99-85. 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. Rollins finds a wide-open Bobby Portis Jr., and he is able to put it up and put it on in. 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and the Sixers need to have some more offense. Paul George, elbow J, off the dribble. Money for Paul George. It's about time that he steps up in the fourth quarter, and the Bucks will call for a timeout. It's a 101-87 game. ESPN still said it's 103-87 because they thought that was a goaltend. What a game for Paul George. Maxey looks tired. He does, for the first time. I mean, in the first quarter, he was making plays, but he's looked tired. And other guys have really been stepping up, and it's just a beauty to see what happens when you have guys that are shooting the ball well and picking up the slack. It's nice. Man, great game. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel, folks. Let us know if you are tuning on into this game. Put an I in the chat. Let's see those eyes. Put an I in the chat if you are here witnessing this 76ers game. Y'all rock. Y'all are the best. Paul George with 18 points in this contest. And 12 for Tyrese Maxey. Bona with 10. He's played very well with Dem Bona in this fourth quarter. And Quentin Grimes, 18 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds as well. These PG buckets are absolutely filthy, says Josh. JC, they are disgusting. And the rebounding has been really good in this fourth quarter from Paul and Bona. Still can't understand why Kyle Lowry was out there to start off the fourth quarter. But guess what? They're scoring, and they're trying to close out this deal. There's the eyes. Good stuff. Good stuff. Keep the foot on their throats. Let's go. Andre Drummond is going to come on in for a Dem Bona. Sixers, by the way, again, still have 2 timeouts remaining. And the Bucks have 3. It's a 101-87 game with 5:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Bucks have Sims, Porter Jr., Rollins, Portis, and Trent Jr., and the Bucks throw it away. But it was last touched by the Sixers. It looked like Gary Trent Jr. got nicked up as his glasses came off. His goggles came off, and we have a foul called. That's the Sixers' 4th foul that they've committed. Andre Drummond, as we mentioned, just entered on in for the 76ers. It was a personal foul on Tyrese Maxey. Rollins steps back, thought about putting up a tray. Now it's to pass it over to Bobby Portis again. Portis to Porter. Porter back to Portis. Over on the left elbow. Floater is up and in. And the lead is down to 12 again. 5:25. The closest that it got to was 10. And we'll see if the 76ers can put closing remarks on this game. 5:15 to go. Maxey outside to VJ Edgecombe at the Pfizer Forum sign. He crosses over again, drives it inside, steps back, puts up an elbow J, and that one's short. And so VJ couldn't knock it down. A rebound by Ryan Rollins for Milwaukee. Less than 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter as we close things out. Bobby Portis Jr. will reset it with Ryan Rollins at the top of the key. Crosses over against Quentin Grimes. He zigzags past 2 defenders and gets the layup to go over Andre Drummond. He finished high off the glass. 4:40 left in this game. And the Sixers lead is down to 10 again. George over in the post. Wants to try to put up a shot that time, and he's fouled. Kevin Porter Jr. reached in. Paul was either going to drive it towards the lane, or he was just going to hit a step. He was going to go for a step back J, and he got him to pay for that, Kevin Porter Jr. that is. And he reached on in. All right. 101 to 91. Paul George at the line. That was just the second foul by Milwaukee in this quarter. First free throw by PG, good. Larry is here. What's up, Larry? Paul George, 7 for 13 shooting-wise from the field tonight, but he has looked extraordinarily well in this fourth quarter. Foul shot number 2, yes, sir. 103 to 91. Porter Jr. going towards the lane. Kicks it out to Bobby Portis for a 3. And that one's good from the far corner. And the lead is down to 9. That's the closest that it's been. 4:10 to go in the final minutes of the fourth quarter. Maxey with a behind-the-back bounce pass to Edgecombe, who hands it off back over to Maxey, and Maxey throws it away. And here come the Milwaukee Bucks. Portis Jr. tries to lay it up inside. No good! Edgecombe with the rebound. How about that extraordinary defense by Paul George on that 2-on-1? Maxey tries to lay it up and then no! Tips it up, and that one's good! Paul George finishing strong on both ends. 105-94. Another step back 3. That's no good either. Airball thanks to the defense by PG again. Maxey on a drive to the basket. Can't finish with the layup. And we have a whistle called. 3:24 to go in the fourth quarter. Doc Rivers does not look happy over on the Bucks sideline. And we have a timeout taken as the Sixers lead it by 11. How about Paul George out in transition? There was a 2-on-1, and he still was just able to strip the ball out of freaking Bobby Portis. Out of Bobby Portis' hands. That's insane. Wow. Ridiculous, phenomenal transition defense by PG. Oh, my gosh. This is what we paid Paul George to do. On a night where Tyrese Maxey looks so tired from all the carrying that he has done, the Sixers have had his back. They just got to keep it up. Oh, man. You're really good at calling basketball games, my friend, and good night. I will see you tomorrow. You're the best. What's up, Scott? Shout out to you. Love you, buddy. Scott, you are awesome. Let's go. All right, come on. Let's go. Close this out. Close this game out. Paul George with a fantastic fourth quarter. It's been the main story of this second half. Grimes and Walker were stepping up in the first half. Grimes also had a very good third quarter. He made 3 big-time threes. Sims gets the inbound pass. Here we go. Got to play D. 3:15 left in the fourth quarter. Kevin Porter being guarded by VJ Edgecombe. We've now seen that matchup happen over the last couple of possessions. Bobby Portis dumps it off over to Trent Jr. Trent Jr. back to Portis for a 3. No. And Sims gets the offensive rebound over Paul George, and they'll reset at the top of the key. Trent Jr. pump fake 3 again. That's short. And George with another rebound has to throw it as he was off balance. Quentin Grimes gets it, and he's fouled by Ryan Rollins. Paul George. Oh my gosh, just the excellent efforts. And he was on one foot as he got the rebound on that baseline and just had to find Grimes quickly. So now Paul George has the ball as he gets the inbound pass. Takes it over towards the top of the key. He wants to ISO. He steps back. He crosses over. Gives it back to Edgecombe for a wide open 3. VJ Edgecombe. And Paul George gets the assist. 108-94. And Sims goes downhill, and we have a foul called on the other side. Great playmaking by Paul George, and this is what happens when you start to get double-teamed. Another guy gets wide open, and they can make you pay. And VJ is the assassin. The personal foul, by the way, was called on VJ Edgecombe, and because the Bucks are in the bonus, we will have some free throws coming on up right now. There's a shot that's up, and that one's good. So Ryan Rollins knocks down the first free throw to make it a 108-95 game. Kevin Porter Jr., 20 points. He's had a much better second half, but it's been really tough for him to score. He's also been facilitating, though, 9 assists and 7 rebounds for him. Both free throws are good. 108-96 with 2:20 to go in the fourth quarter. George has the rock yet again for the 76ers. And Maxey's not even taking the ball. It's been all Paul George. George tries to get it down low on the block over to Drummond, and he does, and Drummond's able to throw it up and in with the left hand. It's been his offense. Grimes tries to get a steal over on the other side. Turner gets it, and another foul is called. Oh, come on. Grimes was playing such physical defense on Miles Turner over in the half-court set, and VJ came over to help him, and Grimes got called for a personal foul, and Nick Nurse is not happy. Miles Turner is going to go back to the line with about 1:58 to go in the fourth. Turner is 7 for 10 from the line today. We got an awesome post-game show after this, so make sure you guys stay on for that. First foul shot, no good by Miles Turner, and he misses his 4th free throw of the game. 110-96. And the second foul shot that time, money for the Milwaukee Bucks. 1:58 to go in the fourth quarter. Paul George, it's been his show. He slips up, but he's fouled in the backcourt. Got hit right on the side, and that is going to put the Sixers. It's going to put the Bucks at the foul limit. So they had a foul to give there. George will now inbound it over to Tyrese Maxey. A season low for Maxey, 12 points. Crosses over at the Toyota sign. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Maxey swings it over to George on the far corner. George, pump fake, three-pointer. Again, no good that time. 95 seconds left to go. Kuzma on the drive to the basket. Euro step is up, and it's good. And the lead is down to 11. One more bucket, and that should do it for the 76ers. Maxey gets the inbound pass, gets past half court, and wants to just milk this clock down. Gives it over to Grimes. They double-team to Maxey. And now Grimes has the attention on him. Takes it over to the elbow to Andre Drummond. Drummond back to Grimes. Another three by Grimes. Yes! A 4-point play coming up. Quentin Grimes has looked like Steph Curry out there. That's his 6th tray of the game, and that should be the dagger. A shooting foul on the closeout by Miles Turner. Didn't know if they were going to call it, and they did. And Dominic Barlow comes back on in for Paul George. Grimes' foul shot. That's good. Wow. Excellent. Rising Rhino is here in the chat. What is going on? How are you? Shout out to Rising Rhino. Make sure you guys go follow him. Andre Drummond with the good defense on the other side as the shot was airballed by Kevin Porter Jr. He had to put it up against a 7-footer, and he just couldn't get it to go. Sixers get fouled with 50 seconds to go. VJ Edgecombe is going to go to the line, and the Bucks are going to wave the white flag, and that's going to do it for all their starters. And Maxey's going to head on over to the scorer's table as well. Justin Edwards, who has not played 1 minute tonight, he's going to come on in now. I find that to be very interesting. And Jared McCain will come back in too. What a game for the Philadelphia 76ers. Edgecombe's first foul shot is good to make it 115-99. Can I get a whoop whoop? Let's go. 115-99. Both teams in the bonus, and Edgecombe steps up again to seal the deal. Excellent. 116-99. 41 seconds of play left in this game. The Bucks can't get a layup on the other side. Sixers get yet another rebound. Got a lot to talk about once the game is officially done. And we will talk all about the positives out of this game. 23 seconds to go. Edgecombe has the ball. The Sixers are going to get a shot clock violation, and the Bucks will have the one more possession with 15.2 seconds to go. There's Tyrese Maxey over on the sideline clapping his hands, and it's just a matter of 15 seconds for the Sixers to get their 13th win. The Bucks inbound it, and that is going to do it. That is win number 13 of the season for the Philadelphia 76ers as they win back-to-back games against the Golden State Warriors and the Milwaukee Bucks. There was a layup by Thanasis Antetokounmpo to end the game, but the Sixers win 114-101, and we will ring the bell and celebrate after this victory. Let's go! Woo! Player of the game, PG! Let's go! Drop PG in the chat. Stand up and cheer. Number one, Philadelphia. Here they come. Team of the year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Wow, what a great win, man. This was awesome. This was a lot of fun, and the Philadelphia 76ers deserved this W tonight. We'll talk all about it, man. We have a nice post-game show coming up in about 2 minutes. But I will tell you this, before you guys, for those of you that are going to sign off, my overall thoughts. I'll get to PG in a little bit. But this was a game where context really matters. The Sixers were up by 24 points in last night's game against the Golden State Warriors without Steph Curry, without Jimmy Butler, and with a half playing version of Joel Embiid. Also, there was no Paul George. And Tyrese Maxey put up just another phenomenal performance in last night's game, and pretty much led the Sixers to that little comeback at the end. So the Sixers, they blew the lead, and it got really dicey at the end, and the Sixers were somehow able to steal that game against the Warriors. They travel on a back-to-back, and they go to Milwaukee, and they win by 15 and beat the Milwaukee Bucks. A very impressive win when Tyrese Maxey looked gassed, when Tyrese Maxey looked really tired out there. Other guys stepped up tonight, and that really did help the 76ers. They got great shooting performances by Quentin Grimes. They got a great Quentin Grimes tonight, and they also got a good version from Jabari Walker. And then Paul George, who really didn't have as good of a first three quarters, just was able to be so dominant in that fourth quarter and help the Sixers come back, or not come back, help the Sixers just put that game away because it was getting uncomfortable. It really was. They had a 26-point lead in this game. It got down as close as it was to 9 points, and you just didn't really feel comfortable heading into that fourth quarter with Kyle Lowry out there as your starting point guard, and VJ Edgecombe too, or Quentin Grimes it was. But anyhow, regardless, they got the W. Paul George sealed the deal, stepped up when he had to, and it was just a beauty to watch. We are going to break everything down and provide a nice little post-game show once we come back from our break. Give me about 2 minutes. We'll recap this game, and we will talk more about it. So don't go anywhere. See you really, really soon. And a good win by the Philadelphia 76ers. More to talk about when we do return.
Graduated from Rowan University in the spring of 2022 with a sports communication and media degree. I got to actually call minor league baseball and G League basketball games while I was in school. And then I graduated, and as soon as I graduated, I went to NFL Films in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And as much as I loved that experience, I miss putting on the headsets. I decided, you know what, talk is cheap. I have a laptop that's in my house, and so 21 months later, here we are, still on YouTube, calling games and building an incredible, loving community on here. with the people that I call my Philly freaks with a capital P and a capital H. We go live for every single Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles game, and we do it like old school radio play-by-play style. I'm Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ.
I showed a swung on, barreled out to right field. Bye-bye baseball.
That baby is long gone.
An excellent win tonight by the Philadelphia 76ers, who are coming off of a traveling back-to-back after they were home last night and ended up squeaking one out against the Golden State Warriors. And they come out tonight, and they're firing out of the gates. It got a little bit dicey towards the beginning part of the fourth quarter, really up until like the 7-minute marker, but then Paul George sealed the deal and just put the 76ers on his back. He said, Tyrese Maxey, you've done a lot of backpacking this season. It's my time to shine, baby. Didn't have the sound effect up, but that's okay. It was nice. It was a great win by this team. And, you know, after a game last night where we come out during the post-game show, and we say to ourselves, we were really happy that they stole that game and that they came back, and Tyrese Maxey's chase down block, just absolutely ridiculous, and we'll be talking about that for weeks and weeks to come, for sure. But this was a game where you needed other guys to step up. You kind of figured that Tyrese was just going to run out of gas because this guy is just being run into the ground. He is being asked to do so much. And he looked good in the first quarter, but then he just looked tired. He did. He looked physically tired, and he just wasn't able to drive it as much tonight. He didn't really have as much speed out in transition. It was just after the first quarter where he just looked so fatigued out there. But guys were able to step up. I'm very happy with how this game went for the 76ers, and I needed this. This was a very good win. Even though Joel Embiid didn't play, I really thought that the 76ers looked like that this was – it looked like to me that this was one of their – one of those wins where they played against a Bucks team that, yes, is missing Giannis, but I still felt like that the Bucks had some really good key pieces. Getting Kevin Porter Jr. back, that guy's a baller. That guy is really good. And the Sixers made it really tough for him. VJ Edgecombe played phenomenal defense on him during that fourth quarter. Paul George was locking him up, too, in the first half on the defensive side. And then the Sixers sort of got away from it because in the third quarter, Miles Turner is being involved in the pick and roll, and he's going to the lane, and now the Sixers have to guard him, and he's just getting fouled a lot because the Sixers don't have enough size. Andre Drummond can only do so much because this guy can shoot the three, and he can shoot it at a high volume. So the Sixers just could not really stay on him, and that caused the Sixers to sort of change their game plan. My first thing that I want to talk about, and then of course we're gonna open things up to you guys too. Of course, we will be taking phone calls. 610-314-0844 is how you dial on into the show. You guys are more than welcome to call in and give me your thoughts. A lot of positives out of this game. And the first thing that I got to start off with, before I even get to Paul George, is Jared McCain, I thought, got a little bit cold in the second half, but I thought that in the first quarter, when he was making his shots, I thought that that was a big step for the Philadelphia 76ers, and that was part of the tone setter. Tyrese Maxey really did a nice job in that first quarter. He was aggressive. He was facilitating at a very high level, and he just got some really good steals out in transition. Both of those guys did a great job setting the tone in the first because they made plays on both ends, and Tyrese didn't necessarily look to score all the time. He really wanted to get his teammates involved, and I thought that the ball movement for the second game in a row looked very fluid. I thought that it looked crisp, and guys were making really good passes. It didn't feel like things were being forced. The Sixers were doing a great job out in transition because Tyrese Maxey was being an absolute monster just going for balls and utilizing his speed. And then, as we mentioned before, he just got a little bit tired, and that's really what happened. But I thought that Jared McKean and Tyrese Maxey definitely set that tone in the first quarter. The Sixers bench then comes on in. Adem Bona is making some plays. He's getting some really good boxing out plays, and he's providing a little energy spark off the bench. And so is Quentin Grimes in that first quarter too. He had a couple of splashes that he hit that were big, that were really big. And then we go to the second quarter, and Jabari Walker is just knocking down shots left and right. And it was really important for him to make those shots because Bobby Portis is just being left wide open. The Sixers are not putting a body on him. They just forget that he's a really good three-point shooter when you leave him wide open, and he's making them pay. But Jabari had the responses on the other side, and that worked. That neutralized Milwaukee because, okay, here's a guy that has 14 points in Bobby Portis, and Jabari Walker has 12. So that neutralizes things. And I really was impressed with his minutes. He also had a really nice offensive rebound in that second quarter where he went up against two defenders. He jumped up over the both of them, and he was fouled. And he was assertive. He went to the line. He marched on over there, and he made his free throws. So very good production from the bench today, specifically from Jabari Walker. 18 minutes, 18 points, 4 for 5 from 3 in the second quarter. Outstanding stuff. He was excellent. Paul George. That fourth quarter was great. That fourth quarter, he was really, really strong. This was a game where I'm watching as the third quarter is done. People in my chat are like, I still don't feel good. And I told them it's because when we watch last night's game, we see that there's no ball handler out there. There's no facilitator. There's nobody that can set up the offense. When Quentin Grimes and VJ Edgecombe are out there, those two guards are scorers. They don't know how to run. I'm sorry, I don't want to say don't know. VJ doesn't know yet because he's 20 years old, but they cannot operate an offense. They're not facilitators. They can't pass the ball and give you dishes. Now, Tyrese Maxey has become a very good passer. He has. I still think that he's a score-first type of a guy, and passing has sort of become second nature for him. But Jared McKean is your best ball handler. He's your best traditional point guard. And the Sixers just haven't gone to him. VJ Edgecombe just seems to be the guy for Nick Nurse. He said a couple of days ago, or a couple of weeks ago, that is, that he wants VJ to take the ball and handle the offense in the fourth quarter, which I think is absolutely the wrong decision. Tonight, what ends up happening, and I wasn't happy with this, but you have Kyle Lowry out there. The lineup, I'm trying to look for it right now. I took a picture of it because I can't seem to remember it off the top of my head. The lineup out there to start off the fourth quarter was Paul George, Dominic Barlow, Adem Bona, Kyle Lowry, and Quentin Grimes. For some reason, Kyle Lowry got a good amount of minutes tonight. He played 10 minutes. And when the Sixers went to their small guard lineup in the fourth quarter with Kyle Lowry, Jared McKean, and Tyrese Maxey, I just really thought that was hurting the Sixers. And yes, they were converting on the offensive side, but defensively, that's just a nightmare of a lineup. You have Tyrese Maxey at the 3 going up against a guy in Bobby Portis. Like, come on. That's just not fair. That's not fair at all. I don't know what's going on there. But Paul George really, really stepped up when he had to. And I really want to emphasize how phenomenal he was. This, to me, was his best game this was his best fourth quarter, by far, that he's had as a 76er. And that's why he's the So the Sixers call a timeout with 8:43 to go. Okay? It's a 95-83 game. After the timeout, Sixers are fouling. Adem Bona fouls Kevin Porter Jr., knocks down both free throws. It's now 95-85. And then Adem Bona actually miraculously makes 2 free throws in a row as he got fouled on the other side by Gary Harris. Was really surprised about that. We'll take it. He's not a good foul shooter, but we'll certainly take that. And the Sixers defense just played so well from like the 6:50 marker on, I thought. VJ comes on in for Jared McCain, and the Sixers go to more of their wing lineup, which really ended up helping them. And with about 6:18 to go, okay, Paul George hits this pull-up jumper to put them up by 14 after VJ misses a 3, and then Bona crashes the glass. On the other side, Bobby Portis, okay, makes a layup. And there was also a play before that, or maybe it came afterwards. Okay, it did. So then after Paul George makes another pull-up J to put the Sixers up by 14, right before the Bucks call for a timeout, the Sixers turn the ball over with about, 5 minutes to go. And Paul George, it was a bad turnover. It was from Tyrese Maxey. Paul George gets back on defense. It's a 2-on-1. It's a 2-on-1 possession. Bobby Portis thinks that he has a layup. And Paul just is able to shuffle his feet, get right in front of Bobby Portis, who thinks he has a wide open layup, and he just strips it right from the middle of his hands. And it goes right off of his left knee, and he catches it. He does it all in one motion, and he does it so quickly. And for him to get that stop there, I thought was really the game changer in that fourth quarter. I thought that was the perfect stop that they needed. That was a momentum boost that the Sixers needed for sure. He also had a really nice defensive rebound, too, where there was a shot up by Bobby Portis. Not Bobby Portis. It was Kevin Porter Jr. There was a shot up. Good defense by VJ Edgecombe on that play. Bobby Portis puts up a shot. Paul George over Bobby Portis, who's about 6 inches smaller than him, jumps up, gets the rebound, over on the baseline. He has 1 foot in the air because if he puts his foot down, he's out of bounds. So he had to balance himself, and he found Quentin Grimes right next to him and just was able to make a nice pass. That was a clutch rebound there, too, by him. Just knowing where he was, great IQ. And we've talked about how great he is on the defensive side of the ball. This is what makes Paul George so valuable, even when he's not providing a lot of offense. But what really helped was that he sealed the deal towards the end of the game. He got aggressive. He made 2 free throws at the 4:30 marker. And the Sixers had him run the offense. I was surprised that Nick Nurse didn't make Tyrese Maxey do it, because Tyrese has done a great job closing. It was just not his night. It was not his night. He was tired, and that's okay. That's fine. Paul George had the hot hand. They kept feeding it to him, and he made his ISO shots, and he capitalized. And he was aggressive, too. And he didn't get careless with the ball. He didn't shy away. He stepped up, and he closed the game out. And then my favorite play of that fourth quarter was when he has the ball. He's on the far wing. Here comes the double team, because Doc Rivers is known for double teaming, the hot hands, and he just sends help all his way. And Paul George, no-look pass on the far side of the wing to VJ, right in the shooter's hand, and VJ knocks down that 3. It was game over at that point. And then to secure the win, to make sure it was game over, Quentin Grimes with that big 3-and-1 was huge. So a big shout out to Paul George tonight for what he was able to do to close out that game. That was awesome. I just demand to see that more, because this is what we paid Paul George to do. Not just go out there and play strong defense. And he's not the best. He's not the defender that he once was, right? He's not the defender that he used to be, where he could just lock up guys left and right. He plays a really good team defense, and when he has to step up on an individual player towards the end of the game, he does. And we've seen that. But for him to just get going offensively and just make wise decisions and make some really awesome passes, that was fun to watch tonight. And it was much needed. The Sixers were desperate for that because Tyrese Maxey can't be Superman all the time. So, big shout out to Paul George. I liked how in the third quarter, Quentin Grimes also was not getting too reckless with the basketball. I thought that the game was simple for him today, and he was knocking down his shots. Still, I think that sometimes he shoots it way too early in the shot clock, but that also tells me that he has a lot of confidence too, which I like to see, but I still don't always think that when the Sixers are up by like 12, if they're up by like 8 points with 2 minutes left, and he shoots it with like 20 seconds to go on the shot clock, that's just not a good decision. Like, you got to be better than that. It's just not smart. Even if you're wide open, I don't want you to take shots there unless they're smart shots, unless it feels right. So, but Grimes though in the third quarter played very good and made his shots and did a great job. Tonight, the 76ers shot the ball 40% from three. They were at one point shooting 55% in the third quarter. Everything was going in. The Sixers also were 21 for 22 from the line. That's great. They were very physical, they were aggressive, and they made their shots at the free throw line. And Paul George made a lot of them in the fourth quarter. So that's good enough for a 95% free throw rating. They also rebounded the ball well, too. I was really nervous in that second half because I said that if the Sixers were going to hang on and win, they were still going to have to out-rebound the Milwaukee Bucks. And I thought that maybe they were going to get a little bit tired. I thought that Nick Nurse wasn't really going to rely on Dominic Barlow. And Barlow didn't really even play towards the end of the game, which I thought was fascinating, too. They had Paul George at the 4, and that actually ended up working out, which was sort of ironic. But Barlow just didn't really have his best game tonight either. He put up a really good rebounding game last night and made some really good plays, but it was just not his night tonight. But the Sixers got rebounds. Paul George in the fourth quarter was a rebounding machine, and so was Adem Bona. Andre Drummond's getting into foul trouble, and Adem Bona stepped up and made some big-time boards. Was eating off the glass. So, yes, they did a much better job rebounding in the second half. They did a good job in the first half, but in the second half, I think that the rebounding was why they were able to capitalize. I think that was one of the main reasons why. The Bucks turned the ball over 11 times in that first half, and they ended up finishing with 18 turnovers, too. Sixers got a little careless in the fourth quarter with the turnovers. We saw 2 turnovers from Kyle Lowry in a row. And again, we talked about it before. Don't understand why he's out there in the fourth quarter in the first place, even though I get that it's either Jared McCain or Tyrese Maxey, but it still just has to be one of those guys. You cannot have a small guard lineup with Kyle Lowry, Tyrese Maxey, and Jared McCain. You're going to get killed defensively. Period. So, but a great job. A very great job by the 76ers. Jabari Walker's threes in that second quarter were great. The Sixers bench tonight. The bench. Jabari Walker, 18 points. Adem Bona, 10 points. Jabari Walker, 18 minutes too. 18 minutes, 18 points for Jabari Walker. Adem Bona, 10 points in 24 minutes. Jared McCain, 8 points in 23 minutes. But he had 6 rebounds and 4 assists and 2 steals, so I'll take that. Quentin Grimes, 22 points, 6 for 7 from 3, and those threes were electric. That's great. The only bad person off the bench was Kyle Lowry with 3 points in 10 minutes. The 1 3 that he actually did hit in the second quarter was funny because he got a steal and then he hit the 3 to put them up by 20. I was sort of laughing. I was like, wow. Surprised that Justin Edwards only played 1 minute in this game. I expected that he was going to get more playing time. I'd like to hear as to why he didn't really see the floor tonight. I'd like to know why, and I'm sure that Nick Nurse talked about that in his press conference. Last but certainly not least, I want to get to VJ Edgecombe because VJ, he has shown me in the fourth quarter. It doesn't matter what it is. Like for some reason in these first 3 quarters, he's just so quiet. He's quiet. He's timid, and he's not aggressive. Now, the Sixers did have players that stepped up today in the first 3 quarters. So you didn't necessarily need to rely on him to do that. But the one thing that I do notice is that when there's 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, this guy's defense is just A+. He looks like he's a veteran out there with the way that he plays defense on the ball and away from the ball too. And I really was impressed with what he did again on the defensive side, guarding passing lanes, understanding when the Bucks were going to, draw zones, when they were going to come up with screens, how to fight through screens. This guy was everywhere. This guy was all over the place on defense, especially with those last 5 minutes to go. And he scored the rock at a very high rate, too. And that 3 that he hit to seal the deal off of the Paul George assist, clutch. He's been clutch. And I am very impressed with what he's done as a rookie. I still want him to be more aggressive, but that's something that he's just going to have to continue to work on. He's only 20 years old. He's 20. And he's doing a lot of good things as a rookie, especially on the defensive side. Maybe the scoring's not there like it once was in the very beginning of the season, and his shot making has to be better. But this guy has raw talent. And he's going to be fun to watch for years and years to come. 610-314-0844 is how you dial on into the postgame show. Nick Nurse, I didn't really think coached a good game tonight. I thought that his talent executed things really well. I still don't think that he calls plays. Or good plays at least, because I'm watching this team and they just don't look like that they're set out there on offense. It doesn't look like that there's designed plays that are being executed. But the talent played well. So, and the way that he managed the timeouts, still not happy about that. Why would you challenge? Why would you challenge a play with 40 seconds to go, going into halftime, when clearly the ball went off of Jared McCain's hand? It clearly went off of his hand, and you're up by 20 points at the time. Don't add fuel to the fire. So, all right, call on in or leave a message down below, and we will read messages. We'll also look at Twitter, too, and we will see what the people have to say. But, yeah. Awesome win by the 76ers. The next game that they play will be against the Lakers on Sunday, and we will be covering that game. That game will be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we look forward to seeing you there for that. But we're going to get to text messages now and phone calls too. So, yeah, call on in. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. The song is cathartic. And you know what? It was well-deserved tonight. Sometimes I play it and I cringe a little bit. Last night, I kind of cringed. Even though it was a great walk-off shot by VJ Edgecombe and it was really a walk-off block by Tyrese Maxey, but a beautiful putback by VJ. Yeah, but we were still mad about certain things. We were mad about the collapse. But tonight it felt like this was not a bad Milwaukee team and that the Sixers played a very complete game with role players stepping up and Tyrese not having to do it all. That's something different that we're not used to seeing. We're not used to seeing Jabari Walker get hot from three. We're not used to seeing Paul George take over a fourth quarter and Tyrese off the ball. Tyrese didn't get the ball. He only got the ball once down the stretch in the fourth quarter. Once. Let that sink in. It wasn't his offense in the fourth quarter. It was Paul George's offense. It's great. Thank you all. Thank you all for the great calls. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's, I don't know. I don't have much else to say except that if you guys, again, want to text on in, you most certainly can. Let's look at Sixers Twitter right now. Let's look at Sixers Twitter. Sixers beat the Bucks 116-101 for third straight win. 61 bench points. That's the second highest total this season. That's why we feel good about this win, because guys off the bench really stepped up. Paul George tonight from Jacob Marino. A season high 30 minutes. 20 points. 5 rebounds. 5 assists. 2 for 6 from 3. 7 for 15 from the field. And just talk about that defense. I mean, they don't even show all his defensive stats. And even all the defensive stats, I don't think tell the full story. But yes, poetry. What else do we got? Sixers Adam. I always love looking at his tweets. He's such a great reporter. He really is. A really nice win for the Sixers, who have won 3 straight games for the first time. They were 4-0. Now they're 13-9. Tyrese Maxey's 20-point streak comes to an end as Paul George, Quentin Grimes, and Jabari Walker handled so much of the scoring tonight. It just feels so nice to be able to have other guys step up. Last night, your Robin, your 2 guys that were second in scoring behind Tyrese Maxey each had 12 points. And that was Joel Embiid and Quentin Grimes. That's not good enough. When you're playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder, when you're playing against teams like even the Portland Trailblazers, or the Knicks, or the Celtics, like, that's just not good enough. The other positive that I did take out of tonight's game is that even though Tyrese looked tired, I still thought that the way that he navigated through the double teams looked really good. I expected this year that Tyrese was going to have some woes when it came to navigating the double teams, because I remember specifically Joel Embiid, when he first started to get double teamed, he turned the ball over a lot. And he didn't know how to pass out of the double teams. He couldn't necessarily figure it out. When the blitz was coming, he couldn't navigate through that. And he turned the ball over. He made some really bad passes, made some bad mistakes, and panicked. Tyrese, when guys are coming on him, we questioned coming on into the season, what was that going to look like? Because now we figured that it was going to be his offense. We figured that he was going to be the number 1 scoring option. And we wanted him to work on that during the offseason, and he did. He worked on passing out of double teams. He worked on transition defense, and he also worked on the mid-range and shooting with the offhand. this is peak Tyrese Maxey. And maybe it's not because he's 25. 24. Sorry. So yeah, I still thought he did a good job passing out of the double teams. Paul George, after the game, being interviewed, quote, "I'm blessed that I'm healthy and I'm just trying to stack games." Hey, man, I'm happy you stepped up tonight. That's a start. That's a start. He closed that deal in the fourth quarter. Kyle Neubeck says that game shows the difference between George this year versus last. Outstanding closeout effort when they badly needed his fresher legs on the second half of a back-to-back. Sixers are 13-9, 3 straight wins. And Paul George did not look good last year. I do have to say that he has looked more fresh when he's out there. I just want to see this consistently. I want him to just play. And I just don't think that they're managing this the right way. And I'm not going to continue to go down that hole because tonight you need to celebrate what Paul George did. That's all positive. It's all great stuff. I can't deny it. He was a monster. He was a monster. Jared McCain tonight, I thought that he missed a couple of wide open looks too. And credit to him for getting back on defense and for keeping his head down. But there were times where I felt like that the shot should have went in out of his hands. And it just didn't. It did not go in. So that was sort of a little disappointing, but I love the confidence. I love the confidence. You think about a guy who was drafted last year, coming on into a system where, again, he's not going to be one of the number one options. But then when Joel and Paul George are not playing, this guy steps on in, and this guy is looking like a star. He looks like a bright spot, and then he gets hurt. And he misses the rest of the season, and we're all disappointed because he was the only bright spot that we were able to witness last year. And then he comes back from that injury. He comes back from another injury that he suffered from. It was a thumb injury, and it just looked like that he wasn't. It looked like that he had no rhythm. You know, like they were trying to get his wheels back under him, but then he just. It didn't look like that he was. It looked like he was the odd man out. Is what I'm trying to say. Now, he's looking a lot better. I want him to start in that fourth quarter and facilitate that basketball. It seems like he is returning back to last year's version of Jared McCain that we all loved. And that is a positive, too. He's not forcing up shots, shooting the ball with confidence, even if they're not going in, which I love. So, all righty. I think that that's it for us. I think that we're going to wrap things up. And I will catch you all on Sunday. For those of you that rock with me with the 76ers, I appreciate it very, very much. We will see all of you on Sunday for the Lakers showdown in Philadelphia. And we're excited about that. Lila Tov, good night. And I will catch you all on the next one. Halftime is here. What's up, Philly Halftime? We're just signing off right now. Shout out to you guys. Go follow Philly Halftime if you have not done so already. Drop your link down below, my friend. All right. Catch you all. Bye.